Good afternoon and welcome to VAFA TV here for Premier B's Showcase Round. We are here at the beautiful Como Park here for Old Geelong versus Old Ivanhoe. And this is VAFA Premier B's Showcase Round with all 5 Premier B's games live and free this afternoon on VAFA TV. This is the pre-game warm-up thanks to Holmes Glen, a leading provider of vocational and higher education with 40 years experience and more than 140,000 graduates. TAFE at its best. My name is Jordan Mull, and alongside me, he's out there getting the conditions here at the moment, and one of the legends of Old Ivanhoe Football Club, I should say, is Jared Geisler. We will get his thoughts just in a few minutes, but he's out there checking all the conditions in what is a windy day here at Como Park. We are expecting potentially a little bit of rain a bit later on, but right now cannot be too much complaining for a day in mid-August. And both these teams here desperately needing a win, as Jared's joining us here on the sidelines after getting the pitch report, as you dare say, the conditions out there. How are you, mates, and what's the conditions out there?
Yeah, g'day, Jordan. Really excited to be here. It's the wind's pushing pretty much straight across the ground towards us here at the commentary position, so I wouldn't say it's favouring either end. But the surface is absolutely fantastic. So you can often get a bit of a muddy double end at both at centre half forward and at centre half back with the 2 cricket pitches, but they're dry, so I expect a quick game of footy.
That's good, especially we've had a lot of rain this week, so well done to the ground staff to get that one up and going. But, well, last time these two teams played, it ended in a draw, and it seems to be plenty of draws in the Premier Bs here at the moment. But last time it was round 8, 77-77. You were at that game. For those who missed it, it was a bit of a weird ending, Jared.
It was, Jordan. So a little bit like it'll get today. It was dark, it was raining, and young Tyson Nagel had a chance at one point to put the Hoers in front, sprayed his kick out of bounds on the full, and we all thought that'd be it. But he was able to compose himself and kick a goal to level the scores. And then you think, what's going to happen next? Geelong take a mark. They're about 55 metres out. Player goes back for goal, has a shot on the siren. The Old Ivanhoe crowd thought he'd played on. The Geelong crowd said, no, it's okay, but unfortunately didn't make the distance, so it ended up in a draw. So it was exciting.
Well, it was the Buddy Franklin runaround. It was that much of an arc on it. I was watching it this morning and going, geez, that would have been controversial if that had just gone through for any sort of score. But hoping for another close one here today. Old Geelong come in 7th on the ladder, 5 wins, 7 losses, a couple of draws, 92 percentage points at the moment. There are only 2 games outside the top 4, so they can't be taken out of September action just yet, but they're also in a relegation battle if they lose here today. So it really is a must-win game for Old Geelong.
100%, yeah. I mean, it's such an even competition. One week you can be contending for finals, and next you're looking at the relegation zone, and really it's critical for Geelong that they win today. And obviously Old Ivanhoe are fighting for survival, and obviously having coached Old Ivanhoe for 8 years, I can tell you that there ain't too many games where Old Ivanhoe play Geelong and there's a gap in the margin, so I'm expecting another close one today.
I'm surprised there's no Old Ivanhoe scarf out here, mate. It might be hidden under the Catmandu jacket. We might have to see as the game goes on. A little bit of spirit here from the former coach. And speaking of your Old Ivanhoe, they're 9th on the ladder, 3 wins, 9 losses, 2 draws of their own, 82%. Their 5-game winless streak, a draw last week to Beaumaris, 92 apiece. They came from behind in the last quarter. They were down 10, but they also kicked 13-14, so a little bit of inaccuracy. Only won 1 out of their last 8 games. Just have to win today to get out of that relegation hunt.
Oh, 100%. And it's not like they're being blown off the park in the games either. They've had a lot of close games. I think the De La Salle game the week before was only a couple of goals of difference, and then obviously the draw against Beaumaris. So although they haven't had a win for a while, their form's been reasonably consistent, and I expect them to be competitive again today.
Well, statistically, they're a very even team, and their game styles are quite similar. One key difference, Old Ivanhoe averaging 90 marks a game, while Old Geelong just averaging 67 marks a game. So Old Ivanhoe like to control a bit more of the ball, obviously. Now, it is semi-windy. It's not anything crazy, but with these wins, you've got to be real accurate with your kicks if you're going to have a high mark game.
Yeah, 100%. Although if you have a look at the 2 teams warming up, you'll notice that Old Ivanhoe probably lacking a bit of height this year. So, I expect the big ground will really suit them, and they'll be able to use the space. And they're an extremely skillful team. A number of, either ex-AFL, VFL, TAC Cup type players that can control the footy quite well. So I actually think the big ground will suit them. But Geelong have got a bit of firepower up forward in Tom Gorell and Dixon and Mickey Nichols. So, they might stretch old Ivanhoe's height down back. So it'll be interesting to see the contrasting styles.
Well, you talked about Tom Gorell there. He's averaging nearly 4 goals a game. He's got 51 in 13 games, and he's got 15 more than the next best. So he's winning the Coleman, as you would say here in the Premier Bs, and he's 15 more than the next best. He's just taking the P155 at the moment.
He's exceptional. It's his first year at Old Geelong, so I hadn't had the opportunity to coach against him, but obviously with the experience coaching the Big V team at Elsternwick Park against the Goulburn Valley, Tom played in that team for us, obviously given the form that he was in. He'd kicked 1 goal up until three-quarter time. He'd had a few shots for goal, but he showed us just how good he was in that last quarter. We kicked 10 goals as a team, and Tom kicked 4 of them. And, geez, he's got a great set of hands. He finds space, and he's a beautiful shot for goal as well. So, these conditions should really suit him.
And one more as well for Old Geelong. If I don't know who has the ball today, I'm just going to say Matt Harvey, because he's averaging 38 disposals, 6 score involvements a game. We talked about it off air before. He's getting 40 disposals for fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, in the Big V game, he had 44 that day, and I got to see firsthand over about a 4 or 5 week period just how hard he trains. And today you'll see him running to all parts of the ground and joining in and linking up. But I do know that Old Ivanhoe have a player that's got a good reputation for tagging, and he's certainly done the job for me a number of times. His name's Harrow Reid, so I really look forward to that matchup. I expect Harrow to go straight to Matt, and we'll see how they go.
Awesome. I'll put that one on the old asterisk there to watch him throughout the contest. For Old Ivanhoe, as both teams are just getting into their positions here now. Obviously, Patrick Naish, 26.4 disposals he's averaging, played 20 AFL games from 2018 to 2022. Pretty decent star power to have for Old Ivanhoe today.
He's a star. I mean, he played in the premiership that we won in 2023, went back to Wangaratta for a year and came back last year, and a couple of games had 50 possessions. So I'm not sure where Xavier, his brother, will play him today. It looks like Paddy might be going forward, is he, as we watch? But no, he's certainly one of the best kicks of the footy you'll ever see. Looks like he's actually gone behind the ball, so that'll suit. I think he'll be able to set the boys up with his kicking behind the ball.
Well, we're just about ready to go here. Old Geelong going to the right of screen in the light blue, and Ivanhoe to the left of your screen. That was a pre-game show. Thank you to Holmes Glen for the pre-game warm-up, and we are about to get underway here for VAFA Premier Bs Showcase. All 5 games live on VAFA TV and the Premier Bs. And we are underway here at Como Park. Old Geelong here, good handball chain link up, and they're able to get that kick high going towards centre half forward. That's a courageous mark. Early contender for mark of the day, and they're off and running here now. That was Tom Ball with the mark. He handballed it off. Brilliant run down tackle there. Just got the hand away from it. That time was William Simons. Good ball up tackle there. And there will be a ball up right on the 50 metre. That's a very nice mark to start proceedings, Jared.
Absolutely. Wind blustering around, kept his eyes on the footy. It's one of the best marks I've seen in a while, actually, up close and personal.
Oh, it is blustering just a little bit here. So on the effects mic, it does get picked up. A banana kick from 45 metres, travelling right to the line. We wait. And it's been paid a mark. I was waiting for the goal umpire. He just got ready there to put both hands out, but a mark taken on the last line of defence there by Reef Smith. Ball now out on the far side for Old Ivanhoe. 1-on-1. First time the ball's been on that side here in the early going. Lots of bodies around that footy. Old Geelong able to just get that forward. That looked high. Umpire not wanting a bar of it, and will be a ball up on the far side wing.
He's done a bit of that this year. Nick Reeves-Smythe marking on the goal line. He's been excellent for Old Ivanhoe as a key back, and I see he's got the job on Tom Gorell.
Well, it was goalkeeper style there, literally last line of defence. So Old Ivanhoe now able to win the clearance and go through the corridor where they're running with purpose. That's a good kick going inside 50, and mark's being taken by Lucas Agrotis. 45 out, goes with a nice kick. Brilliant hit up, and mark taken by Rowan McKenzie, who is the leading goal scorer this season for Old Ivanhoe with 19, averaging 20 disposals as well. That's a brilliant hit up, though, by Lucas Agrotis.
Absolutely fantastic. You can get a feel for Old Ivanhoe's game style. That was Archie Franklin coming off half-back, lowered his eyes, hit the lead up forward, and straight away didn't stop, just kept the ball moving. And Rowan's had a fantastic year. Again, another big V player for us this year. Kicked 4 against the Goulburn Valley, and I expect he'll put this one through, even though it is windy.
So Rowan McKenzie for Ivanhoe's first, and the goal umpire does not have to move. Great start here for Old Ivanhoe. And Rowan McKenzie has his 20th goal on the season. 2 and a bit minutes gone here at Como Park. Old Ivanhoe 1 straight Geelong yet to score here on the Harlow Bar scoreboard, proudly supporting the Old Geelong Football Club since 2019. And as you said, just brilliant build-up play there, getting the clearance from that far side wing.
No, 100%. One of the moves I do like for Old Ivanhoe today is that Charlie Nash, Paddy's brother's gone into the middle, number 14. He's already had a couple of key touches and been involved, so I like having him around the footy early on.
So back in here to the middle. Goal, the umpire takes a tumble there as well, so umpire contact's been a big thing in the AFL. Not sure if there was any contact there or he just tripped, but here comes Old Geelong now, kick inside 50, and that's your man again, although that one just sort of got big on him and spilled it. And in the end, it's going to be a stoppage about 25 out. The wind might have just got that one there on your man, Reef Smith.
Yeah, he's in the right spot, but just didn't read it as well. But that was Matt Harvey getting on the end of one of his. That's probably his first touch.
So in defence here now. Old Geelong just trying to will it forward by any means necessary. Went off the deck, but wasn't to be. Back to Reef Smith. He'll be calling his name many times here today, I reckon. That's just to get it the hell out of their kick. And mark's been taken by Scott Dixon. He goes quickly over the top, and mark taken. Michael Nichols, probably too far out to score. That one's got plenty of air on it, and marked just inside the field of play by James Adams. Right up against the boundary here on that far side. With the wind, well, it's sort of coming across the ground from the road end. Just, it's going to be a tough kick. You've almost got to start this at the far point post and just hope that wind picks it back, Jared.
100%. I reckon this is probably the toughest pocket to kick from. So if Jimmy Adams is good enough to kick this, then I'll take my hat off to him.
Well, he's averaging just shy of 21 disposals a game in his 14 games this season. Pretty good kick off the boot, just drifting across the face a little bit, and it's a minor score. So first score of the day for Old Geelong is a behind. 4 minutes gone. Old Ivanhoe one straight. Old Geelong one behind on the Harlow Bar scoreboard.
You can see Paddy Nash kicking in, so this is a real weapon for Old Ivanhoe. It's a beautiful long kick of the footy.
Oh, it goes relatively short with that one. Mark taken by Charlie Nash, and that's not the handball he would have wanted to give. And Old Geelong, can they make them pay here now? That's a shocking kick, and gets it back here now, Old Ivanhoe. Had a little bit more time there, I thought, Jared, and just sort of wasted it with just throwing it on the boot, I reckon.
I just panicked. Really had a chance to make Old Ivanhoe pay, but I guess the wind's playing a bit of havoc out there.
Well, that one there, not the best kick either, as that's been spoiled by Horseful. Ball about 60 out from Old Geelong's goal. That's a good follow-up tackle, and it'll be a quick whistle for a ball up here.
Good hard contest there by Jasper Hawkins. He's only a young under-19 boy, but he can get up really high in the ruck.
So thrown up here again. Both rucks go at it. Just whacked forward by Horseful, as that's a high kick. Good luck marking this one. There's a whistle. Free kick going the way of Old Ivanhoe for a hold. I just feel it's going to be a tough day. You reckon key forwards, if you're kicking it that high with the wind here. Good luck marking that, as that's a gutsy kick down the middle. It does get to the back. They scored their one goal going through the corridor, and they're trying to go it again. Lovely bounce right in front of us with the pink boots. Able to get onto his right foot is Tyson Nagel. That one there got touched off the boot, and Old Geelong mark it at half-back. That one just slammed on the boot again. And good intercept mark taken by William Murphy, the co-captain. He goes with a gutsy kick in the middle. It's a beautiful one to centre-half forward. This next kick here, Charlie Nash, good man to have with the footy. Goes over the top. Is that the required journey? Umpire says yes. And there'll be an opportunity here for Old Ivanhoe. About 50 out by the time he kicks it. He's looking for a couple of handballs to give off. But Blake Glidden, who has only kicked one goal in his 14 games so far this season, Jared.
Yeah, he doesn't kick many goals, Blake, but it was Billy Murphy's kick into the middle of the ground that set up this passage of play. He's an extremely skilled player, obviously having won the last 3 comp medals, so he'll get up and running, no doubt.
So a very short run-up, and it's a good spinning kick. Is it long enough? I believe it is. And it's all clear. It's a goal. That one there, it was only maybe a 6-step run-up, but you know what? That's all you need. He's got that one through. His second goal of the season. Old Ivanhoe, a very good start here at the moment, dominating territory and just being a bit cleaner with the footy.
Absolutely. Some of the skill of Old Ivanhoe on show right now, but yeah, he's very excited. Blake coming to the bench, as you said, probably second goal this year, and I reckon he would have only kicked half a dozen in his whole senior footy career, so you could probably tell with his run-up that he's not a natural forward, but he put it through.
Now just needs to kick him straight. I said kicking it from 50 to do it off only 5 or 6 steps was quite impressive. So good start here for Old Ivanhoe. As we talked about in the pre-game show, this is a relegation battle that they're in, and it's must-win for both teams. Old Geelong lose, and well, they're in a relegation battle. If they win, then there is still a sniff of finals. As Old Ivanhoe able to get it on this near side. The broadcast side, that's a brilliant golden fist spoil there that time by William Eggins. And there'll be a throw in right in front of us here in the broadcast position. And that is one of the tallest boundary umpires I reckon I've ever seen in my life, Jared.
He is. He should have no problem with his long levers getting this one in.
That's a thrown in now. The wind gets a bit of an effect on it, and it helps old Ivanhoe. They're able to go forward again. The mark was dropped. Difficult one to hold on for Murphy. Able to just get the handball out. Old Geelong here now. Took the tackle on. That was brave, and that's a brilliant tackle there. Didn't have the size advantage in Shapbolt, but did a great job. That one there was a good option. It was just a second too late, but they're just willing it at the moment. They're wanting it more, and they're going to have another opportunity here now, this time through Jack Bradley. He's going to have a shot about 40 out on a slight angle.
Very exciting for young James Shapbolt. He's still an under-19 player in his second year of senior footy. Probably only played a handful of games this year, but very classy. Not only a great tackle, but he lowered his eyes and hit up the player at centre forward, and he's very skillful.
Tackling the ruckman as well in Lachlan Dunnell. It's not an easy task to stand in front of him. For what would be, as a coach, you draw up your 8-minute game plan to start the game. Well, you take 3 goals. That one's just across the face. Minor score. So 2-1-13 plays 1 behind. 12-point lead here for Old Ivanhoe on the Harlow Bar scoreboard here at Como Park in the Premier B's showcase round for VAFA TV. Thank you to My Sport Live, who's accommodating all the games across the VAFA this weekend. As Old Geelong able to exit D50 with relative ease, and they go right down the middle of the ground. That one here now to centre half forward. Big contest. Well done by both players, just looking for the footy, and we should have a stoppage. About 60 out from Old Geelong's goal.
Old Ivanhoe a bit disappointed with the way they had the zone set up. They're a bit easy to exit straight out of their forward line.
As there's a whistle. Did you get eyes on that, Jared?
Yeah, it was a free kick against young Angus Watson to Dixon here from Geelong. So just a bit of a push off the ball.
So Dixon here now. Can he make them pay after the free kick? Long kick inside 50. That's a good, strong mark. Had the Inspector Gadget arms there. It just kept on going. And Old Geelong, their best opportunity so far today.
That's what he's capable of doing, young Tom Gorell. That's what he's been doing all year. So this will really give us a good indication of the wind as well.
Well, if there's anyone to give us a judge, it's the man who is leading the goal-kicking count by 15. He's kicked 51 goals so far this season. When he's taking big pack marks like that, you can easily see why. So about 35 metres out, slight angle for Old Geelong's first, and that wind just absolutely grabbed that and just registered a score, missing to the right-hand side. So probably a bit too early to say the left of screen is the scoring end, but that one there just looked like it got picked up by the wind and transported, Jared.
No, 100%. He's a beautiful long kick, Tom. So no doubt the scoring end is the end that Old Ivanhoe's kicking to right now.
So 10.5 minutes gone here. You've just joined us. Old Ivanhoe kicked the first 2. Their goal scorers, Rowan McKenzie and Blake Glidden. Only his second goal of the season, and there isn't too many. And Old Ivanhoe, they're able to go coast to coast here now. Kick inside 50. How's the bounce of the Sharon? Old Geelong will be first to it. Chasing after is Morfisi. Gets pretty close to the line. Nearly professionally put it over, and then unfortunately coughed it up. And that's just running. And Lucas Agrotis, who set up a goal to start proceedings, is going to have an opportunity to get his own. About 35 out on a slight angle here. And that's just great running. That is exit D50 with ease there.
100%. I mentioned Paddy Naish's ability to kick the footy in. Well, he's kicked it to the centre of the ground. And Old Ivanhoe, Billy Murphy swoops on it. A whole open forward line. So really impressive play. But he'd be extremely disappointed. The young fella from Old Geelong there, Morfisi, for that turnover. Wasn't under a lot of pressure and had to do better.
I think he was a bit worried about conceding. It probably would have been a deliberate.
100%.
So Lucas Agrotis, 7 games this season, 10 goals. And he comes here now. Right behind this one. He strikes it well. It's just out to the right. In fact, it just travelled the line and was thumped through for a rush behind. So 2-2-14 plays 2 behinds. Just got a little bit under that one there, Jared.
He did a bit, but it also held up in the wind. So you can see that it's definitely pushing towards us.
So Old Geelong, they exited D50 with ease a few minutes ago. This one here looks like Old Ivanhoe have matched up a bit better, and they force a kick down the line. Gets to the back of the pack here now, but first to the footy is Old Ivanhoe, and they're able to run inside 50 here now. 2-on-1. They're able to spoil it, but not out of danger yet here now. Able to pick that one up was McKenzie. Took the tackle on, and you can hear by the Old Geelong players here that they thought that was ball, and that's a risky decision to give the ball to a ruckman at centre-half back when he's under pressure. They've coughed it up. Here comes old Ivanhoe now. 60 out. Kick inside 50 is a good one. All it needs is the mark. Brilliantly done there, and Charlie Naish has taken a mark. About 35 out over on that far side, which is probably the side to be on if you're trying to kick with this wind.
100%. He's a beautiful kick, Charlie. So he's started in the midfield and had a real impact. Now he's gone forward. But I'm not sure what Lachlan Dunnell was doing there. I mean, they've played on quickly there and turned the footy over. Just a bit of a lack of composure, so it set up another opportunity for old Ivanhoe.
Well, they're dominating here at the moment. They're just being cleaner with the footy. And they need to put something on the scoreboard. For old Ivanhoe's third. The scoreboard says 2-1. I believe it should be 2-2. But in he comes here now. That one, you can hear the roar. That's a goal. He's 19th of the season. And old Ivanhoe really yet to put a foot wrong here at the moment. Score will read 3-2-19. Or 3-2-20 it should be. 0-2-2. I'm sure that'll get fixed at quarter time. Brilliant start here on the Harlow Bar scoreboard here for old Ivanhoe.
Yeah, you can see the big round's really suiting their style. They've taken, I think, 4 or 5 marks inside 50 already, just using the fat side of the ground, using the space, but they're certainly up and about. Obviously, season on the line, so, yeah, they're out of the blocks.
Old Geelong at the moment need to get something firing. And they really just haven't been able to win it at the contest. And when they haven't been clean, but still an eternity left. So another clearance here for old Ivanhoe. First the footy, though, is Geelong. Handball over the top here now. Right in front of us here on the broadcast side. Dixon goes with a kick. Nearly intercepted there that time. And so these handballs are just so under pressure and they're forcing so many turnovers in that sense. Tom McKenzie did well to intercept that one. Kick down the line. Always a difficult one to mark. That nearly got Falcon there that time. Just invited the pressure from Nagel. And they'll take that old Ivanhoe every day of the week.
Yeah, he's a really experienced player, Will Horsfall. So it just probably shows, one, what the wind's doing, but two, the pressure that old Ivanhoe are putting on Geelong. Nothing's really easy for them at the moment.
No, always difficult. Those ones there just floating. As it will be thrown in again right in front of us. And just whacked forward by the old Geelong ruckman. And we'll go again. Rinse and repeat. 15 minutes gone here. It'll be 3-2-20 to 3 behinds on the Harlow Bar scoreboard here for VAFA TV.
First gamer in the ruck here for old Ivanhoe, Lachie Minlin.
Well, it's been a good battle so far. As they're able to win a clearance here, old Geelong, but that's a brilliant tackle. And we'll go again.
Matt Harvey's come to the bench. I'd be very surprised if Harrow Reid doesn't come to the bench very soon.
That's not the best throw-up I've ever seen. Both rucks weren't able to do it, but we'll get another rinse and repeat. So just a bit of a stoppage fest here after what's been a pretty free-flowing start here in this game. Thrown up again. Tap down there that time from Dunnell. Able to almost get a kick going forward, but it was ricocheted, and old Geelong just throwing the boot, and this time it's worked. I want to go quick. They've done that all game. He went to go quick and slipped over. Need to get away from the tackle. Didn't. And Jacob Jess gets run down there. And they want to go quickly. Every time they've scored, they've gone corridor. They look to do that again. Nagel, bit of holding going on. Probably a professional free kick there. Not a bad one to give up as they're able to get their numbers back a bit here.
He's normally a pretty good hit-up kick, Tyson. So he's played a bit of footy for St Kilda VFL this year. So let's see what he can do.
So old Geelong able to flood their numbers back, but can they find somebody? There's a big fly from behind, and looks like the Sharon just stays in. In fact, no, it doesn't. So it will be a boundary throw, and inside 50 here for old Ivanhoe. Only team that's really looked like scoring, albeit we reckon it's to the scoring end, but we've got to wait till both teams bat on the same deck, as they say, before we make that judgment. So thrown back in here now. Dunnell just tries to whack it forward. Nagel's in there. And again, it'll be another ball up. Always interested one here and get your opinion as a coach. No one in the goal or making their way to the goal square now to act as that goalkeeper. Just that quick snap, and it's just a random bounce and you give one up. It's always an interesting theory. When do you put one in? Is it a meterage? Is it a time thing?
I would have thought, you can see old Ivanhoe's ruckman Minlin there standing in the hole, which means that Blake Glidden's in the ruck. His man should be that loose man behind the footy.
Well, it's sort of gone forward here from Old Geelong. Can they get some run going? They've gotten to this point a few times, and it's been the next disposal. Able to go down the line here now. They're flirting with the boundary line. That one gets out the back, and not a bad result for both teams. Will be thrown in just in the attacking half for Old Geelong. 17.5 gone here. It's been all Old Ivanhoe here at the moment. 3-2-20. It'll read to 0-3-3. 7th versus 9th on the ladder. Old Geelong, if they win, still a chance of finals. If they lose, well, they're almost in a relegation fight. For Old Ivanhoe, it's just must win. I mean, winless in their last 5 games, a draw last week. That'll be a holding the ball and coming back. Free kick going the way of James Green. He goes with a kick that's just the required journey. So Matt Harvey. I'll call his name plenty of times today, I reckon. And that's a high kick. Good luck marking this one. There's a big fly in front. Couldn't quite hold on to it. Ball right on the arc of 50. First to it was Charlie Opie, and it will be a ball up right on the 50-metre arc.
So Matt Harvey taking advantage of Harrow Reid being stuck on the bench, running around on his own at the moment. Harrow's just come on. Watch him hunt him down.
I was going to say they won't allow that to happen for too much longer, as it's just sort of whacked forward here, and they're able to get something going. Just fell at his lap was Harrison Reid. Here he comes in now. One-on-one inside 50. It looks like it's going to bounce. When you let it bounce, the Sharon can let mean things happen to you. They're able to do well there, Old Geelong, and it was just a metre too high of the intended target that would have eased the pressure. They're just swarming here, Old Ivanhoe. Always been first to the footy, and that's what done them so far as they go for a kick right to centre half forward. Nearly slipped over there. Did a great job to mark. Thought about the handball, but Tom McKenzie here has got it. He goes with a stabbing kick inside 50, and that's a good mark. Tiger Nagel with that one there. Just stuck in his mitts, Jared.
Yeah, no, it's great to see Tiger out there. He suffered a horrific accident at the end of the 2024 season while in Europe. He broke his leg, broke his really, really badly, had pelvis issues. So this is his first season back. He's normally playing down back, so it'll be interesting to see how he finishes off here.
Well, he's had 12 games this season. He's come back here, 1 goal, and that one misses to the left. Minor score. It reads 3-2 on the scoreboard if you hear at Como Park, but when the goal umpires get together at quarter time, that'll be fixed. It'll be 3-3-21 to 0-3-3. And it is just fixed there. Thank you to the scorekeepers that are obviously tuning in to VAFA TV here now. So Old Geelong, they need to get some degree of territory. They just have had very minimal. And it's going to be coming straight back in. Gets to the back of the pack, bouncing, free kick, push. Going the way of Old Ivanhoe. And it will be number 3, Rowan McKenzie, who's kicked one already today. And this is just a conventional snap for the modern-day player, although the wind feels like it's died down the last few minutes, but it's still around.
Yeah, he loves these, Rowan. So last time in the game we spoke about earlier, the draw, Rowan kicked 5 goals, so he's up and about again. So this is normally bread and butter for him, so let's have a look into the teeth of the wind this time.
Only about 20 metres out. I practice these all the time, and that one misses. He goes the Anthony Rocker and goes, I thought that was through, and stuck the arms out, but I think from our view, just drifted a little bit, Jared.
I reckon Anthony Rockers was a lot closer.
So Old Geelong, they've just got to try something here. Probably they're lucky to only be 3 goals down at the moment. That's a good kick exiting D50. Mark taken by Lachlan Eggins right in front of us here in the broadcast position. He goes down the line again. That's a good fly from behind just to compete against a bigger player. And very well done that time from Jasper Hopkins, who was able to force a boundary throw-in.
He's got a big leap on him. But Old Ivanhoe has set up really, really well behind the footy. Nick Reeves-Smythe's normally the architect of that. You can see him pressing high. But there's 2 or 3 brown and white jumpers behind the footy there, as you can see.
So thrown in again. Hopkins fights well the ruck contest. Doesn't look like that ball's coming out in a hurry. And he's going to be pinned here. A free kick going the way of William Horsful. None of the Premier Data stats in front of us, but to be close to the most touches for Old Geelong. Goes short. That just the required journey. Middleton here on this near side. He's going to go for a bit of a trot and go with the left foot, but that one there just intercepted and read better by Blake Glidden. They're out and running here now. It's a good hit-up kick down the line. Mark taken right in front of us here. Charlie Naish Goes inside 50. It's a high kick. Good luck marking this one. Bit of shoving off the ball, but legally an intercept mark taken by James Adams. Just got to feel like they've got to just get to quarter time. Not conceding anything more. It doesn't look like they've got anything going. Get to quarter time and reset, Jared.
No, 100%. Yeah, a few turnovers that maybe it's the perceived pressure, maybe it's the wind, but yeah, a couple that have given Old Ivanhoe real opportunities to score.
Again, just that 30-metre bite-off kick that they've been trying, and it hasn't worked thus far. Goes long down the line here. That one here now, is that off of boots? It will be. It'll be a lasso going the way of Old Geelong, the first lasso of today. Goes for a nice sidestep on the right boot. Goes to the half-forward flank. Fly from behind there that time just to affect it. And they're just surging it forward. Here we go. Can it get a bounce here for Gurrell? If anyone's going to be classy with it, just sort of handballed to himself. Kept it in. Maybe should have just taken it out to get a stoppage. Does well with the follow-up pressure eventually. Does go over the line. Will be a boundary throw-in. Opportunity here for Old Geelong to sneak one. And we're in time on here in the first quarter. 23 and a half gone.
Yeah, not sure if he heard a teammate or he was going to Kevin Bartlett, throw it out in front, but thought he was going to have a ping for goal there.
So thrown in now. Inside 50 for Old Geelong. Brilliant tap down. Snap. How's the bounce of the ball? Gets right to the line, and your man again, Reeve Smith, just knocks it over. And it'll be a minor score. Just didn't get the purchase on that one and just taps it over for a minor score. Here you go, Old Ivanhoe over on that far side. Able to exit D50 very easily, and mark's taken by McKenzie. Went with an inboard handball, but it was just a bit inaccurate, and that there wasn't a pretty 10 seconds of footy as they turned it back over, and Old Ivanhoe now have it at half-back.
You can see the intent from Old Ivanhoe trying to play on it all opportunity, but occasion when you have that style, you'll turn the old one over.
He had his eyes darting around everywhere, and that's a beautiful kick into the middle of the ground. And there's a few options here. Decides to go with the handball, and Tello just invited a bit of pressure on him. They'll be lucky to get out of this with the ball up, and they'll take that, Old Geelong, because there was a few options there in the middle of the ground.
Yeah, 100%.
So thrown up here again, just in the attacking half for Old Ivanhoe. Kick smothered here now. You talked about that pressure. That's a pressure act that they'll love, and they'll get it inside 50 here again. That one there just perched in a great position. Again is James Adams, who's been here, there, and everywhere so far today. Goes short. Taken by Hosking. 25 minutes gone here at Como Park in this first quarter. It's been all Old Ivanhoe. Geelong really not having a clear-cut chance thus far. The wind conditions having something to do with it, but I feel like Old Ivanhoe deserved maybe one more goal in front. But here come Old Geelong. Can they get one against the runner play? Kick going inside 50, and that's just brilliantly read by the man, Tom Gurrell, who's kicked 51 goals this season. He missed one earlier where the wind just absolutely teleported it. And that's a rare defensive breakdown there, getting to the back of the pack, Jared.
Yeah, 100%. Every time Old Geelong's looked dangerous, it's been James Adam. He's had a couple of shots for goal. He's got that one there running into space. And the kick to Gurrell was beautiful. I mean, Reeve Smythe didn't have much of a chance there with the open forward line, and he just kicked to advantage beautifully.
So Tom Gurrell pretty much directly in front. Old Geelong's first of the day. And that one is through. So they get one against the runner play. Been better the last few minutes and a little bit cleaner with the footy, and they get there first. So 1-4-10. They are now Old Ivanhoe on the scoreboard. Reads 3-3-21. 26 minutes gone here on the Hello Bar scoreboard. Proudly supporting the Old Geelong Football Club since 2019.
I think they'd be absolutely thrilled with that, Geelong. I mean, Old Ivanhoe, you'd say, have dominated the quarter, but they're only 11 points in front. So a really important goal just to steady things for them.
So back in the middle here. I said it before, Old Ivanhoe probably deserved to be another goal in front. They'll take any lead at quarter time, but I feel like they've just been a bit cleaner and just won it at the source a fair bit. It's given a lot of time to get rid of it, but eventually did McKenzie. Sock it off the ground brilliantly. Can it sit here for him? Here's an opportunity. Lucas Agrotis goes to the hot spot. Could have had a shot. Did the team thing. Bit of holding going on. Umpire says nothing. Nagel's in there. Follows up with a great tackle. Is that holding the ball? Did a 720. Just got the kick away. Mark taken, and maybe Old Geelong now can run over on that far side. Kicks just outside in front of the intended target. Nichols has got it. Kicks it down the line. Close to that line. Knocked over the top. Geez, I hope this stays in. Here's an opportunity for Graham. Brilliant defence by your man again, Reeves Smythe, doing a great job and able to exit with any pressure avoided. That one there, he stopped about 3 or 4 golden opportunities.
Well, if he didn't, you had Tom Gorell standing in the goal square all on his own. Reeves Smythe's his direct opponent, so it was very courageous to leave his man.
Well, he might be needed again because old Geelong, they've forced the turnover in the middle of the ground and they get it going inside 50. And that's just very good body work. Gorell just overran the footy a little bit and it's really opened up here for them now. Here's Harrison Reid. What does he do here now? Takes a bounce on this near side on the muddy patch. Goes with his left foot inside 50. It's a high ball. There's numbers with old Geelong and, geez, he's taken some marks, James Adams, so far. That's another one.
Scott Dixon, that is.
Scott Dixon,
number
my apologies.
15, yeah, Jimmy's number 5, but yeah, he's been excellent behind the footy. Brother of the coach.
Oh, there we go. Well, I think he'd be very happy thus far.
The Dixons versus the Nations today. There's 2 Dixons playing and 1 coaching and 2 Nations playing and 1 coaching.
Down the line. Anyone touch that? Umpire says yes. So yeah, Scott Dixon, only his 2nd game so far this season. He'd have, dare say, at least 5 intercept marks here in this first quarter.
He's an outstanding player. I think he's one of those break glass in case of emergency. He always comes out of retirement to help out, and he looks like he hasn't missed a beat.
Oh, there's still time left here in this quarter. Can old Geelong, who really were dominated for 80% of this quarter, get a couple of ones late and turn it? Gorell's by himself inside 50, but it's not going to get there. And that's the quarter time siren. That quarter running 28 minutes and 37 seconds. Old Ivanhoe 3-3-21. Old Geelong 1-4-10. Your goal scorers, Old Geelong, it's Tom Gorell with the 1 for them. Rowan McKenzie has 1. Charlie Naish has 1. And Blake Glidden has 1. Going to take a quick break here for quarter time on VAFA TV. Don't go anywhere. Second quarter of this Old Geelong, Old Ivanhoe relegation battle or top 4 battle, depending on who you support, coming up in just a few short minutes. Welcome back here to Como Park in the VAFA TV Premier Bees Showcase Round. All 5 Premier Bees games live and free this afternoon on VAFA TV. About to start the second quarter here. The scoreboard reads 3-4-22 to 1-3-9. We'll have to get the old footage out and check that because we were debating it at quarter time. You get the quarter time huddle report. The first stoppage of play thanks to Harlow Bar. The second quarter brought to you by Greg Sewell Forging here as Old Geelong able to get a bit of momentum in that later stages of that quarter. They're going to the left of screen here in this quarter, and Old Ivanhoe to the right. And that's a kick that just inviting the pressure on there. Didn't see that too much from Old Ivanhoe in that opening part, and that's a good follow-up tackle and a good start. Been in it for both teams. A lot on the line here today. My name is Jordan Mole. Alongside me here is a man who we just got a complaint from the Old Geelong about him being in the huddle. Real simple thing. We just don't broadcast your games if you're going to crack it there. So Jared's here with me. We'll get the breakdown of what was said at quarter time, mate. What happened there at the Old Ivanhoe huddle?
Oh, look, there was a lot of energy. They obviously really thrilled with the way that they played in that first quarter. The big focus was on pressure, and we probably saw it. We'll just watch this.
So it goes inside 50 here now. That's a high kick, and that's a good, strong mark again by Reeve Smythe. And he's able to go here and get some run through the middle, as you talked about there. Lots of energy in that quarter-time huddle. That one here now, is that hands in the back? It will be.
So there was just a lot of focus from Xavier Nash, the coach, on pressing up, defending hard, and we saw it in the first quarter. They're happy to roll the dice a little bit and have space behind them, but really putting pressure on Old Geelong, and we've done really well.
I'll kick inside 50 here now. Just at the front of the pack, does really well. How's the bounce of the Sharon? This would be an absolute ripper. Touch on the line. Rowan McKenzie it was. That would have been a very good contender for the goal of the day. That one there just touched on the last line of defence. So 3-5-23 it reads to 1-3-9 here on the Greg Sewell Forging scoreboard. As Old Geelong have it over on that far side. Talked about it pre-game that statistics very similar between these two sides. Old Ivanhoe averaging 90 marks a game compared to Old Geelong 67. And, well, that's not a mark there, and it's just created a lot of pressure. Here's Nagel with those bright pink boots. Wheels onto his right. Looks like the kick was partially deflected, although maybe it wasn't. Just looked like it went past his arm and just slightly deviated, but not to be. A mark taken in the right forward pocket by Rowan McKenzie, who nearly kicked goal of the year a few moments ago, and have an opportunity here to snap it. You go the right foot banana or left footed snap or even the drop punt. What does he go here, Jared?
I'd say run around on his left and kick a snap, but he's capable of anything, Rowan, so it wouldn't surprise me if he kicked a check side as well.
Oh, he's coming in walking straight now for what would be a great start. He's going the right foot banana and he absolutely drills it. Great start here. Start the second quarter. Rowan McKenzie has his second. Got robbed of one just a few moments ago where he got right, touched on the chalk line, and he's able to put that one through, and Old Ivanhoe get a bit of momentum back, and it's now out to a game-high 20-point lead as the wind is going here now. If you hear a bang and a crash, it's just aware equipment. Nothing to be worried about. But game-high lead here now, and they'll be very happy with that start.
Absolutely, and look, another turnover from Old Geelong. So you could see they were trying to get a bit more composure and control of the footy, but pretty much an unmarked, uncontested mark dropped, and they got capitalised on the turnover and scored. And it's a real luxury to have Rowan playing deep forward all day today. Tom McKenzie's come in from the VFL, which is freeing up Rowan to play this deep forward role, and he looks really dangerous.
So ball thrown up here now. Old Geelong had a bit of a response, just being able to get their hands on the footy. It's just been that connection kick which they haven't had. That one's a ripper as it's over the top here to Connor Dixon. He's going to run and go inside 50, right to the goal square, gets to the back. Here's an opportunity for them. Smythe doing a great job as he has so far today. The wind is swirling. They're able to exit D50, takes a bounce, goes with a thumping kick into the middle of the ground, just carries over everyone. Wasn't able to mark it. Old Geelong here now. That's a risky kick in the middle of the ground, but they've got to control it. They do. Link up handball to the big ruckman. He does a handball over the top, but they're just surging it forward whatever way. That's a good bump there that time. Good follow-up. And it's going to be a high tackle. It's fast. It's hard footy here at the moment. It's good to watch. Now it's kicked forward again here now. Able to keep his feet. That time was McKenzie, but he gets swallowed up. Able to keep things running. Takes a bounce is Tom McKenzie. Takes two bounces. Runs to 45. Keeps it low. And what's happened here? It's a free kick coming back to old Geelong. So I think he missed the shot anyway. It was the wind, I think, got it. But a free kick coming back to old Geelong. Not exactly sure what for, but I didn't have eyes on it. I was waiting for the big build-up of the Tom McKenzie goal, but not to be.
No, that's right. It looks like a free kick off the ball of some sort. What it does do is old Ivanhoe is well set up behind the footy here. I think Geelong just need to control the footy a bit more.
Old Geelong go low with that kick, and it's just intercepted there that time from Ryder Mantello. He goes short. They're able to get this link-up play. Kick going inside 50. It's just a little bit too much on it. First of the footy, though, is still going to be great smother. That's well done from old Geelong. There was Lucas Agronis on the end of it. Did a good job just to get it on the boot, but great smother to follow up there. It was number 17, Lockie Allen, with that one, Jared.
It was a fantastic smother. I think old Ivanhoe had a free man behind the footy there, so he saved a goal.
So thrown up in here now, right on the 50-metre arc. Able to get onto his left, and that kick there, is it going to stay inside the field of play? It won't, from William Horsfall. And old Ivanhoe now, opportunity to go. A couple of repeat entries. William Murphy's got it, the co-captain, averaging 25 and a half disposals a game in his 11 games so far this season. Goes with a real sort of Grime Myers sort of around the body type kick, and it got smothered by the man on the mark. So costly potential turnover here as mark's taken. William Sloss, the long sleeves, goes right down the line, and it's just bounced inside the field of play, but it will be a lasso free kick, and Reeve Smythe will have it, who has been sensational here in the opening 35 minutes of play, Jared.
He has. He's been playing this role all year. When he was a lot younger, he used to play as a midfielder and as a forward, but he's transformed his game playing behind the footy.
Goes with a low stabbing ball. Mark taken by Tom McKenzie. He's on Richmond's VFL list, 11 games for them this season. And when he's played for Old Ivanhoe, just the 4 games, but just shy of 28 disposals a game he's averaging, so not too shabby at all. There's that one there. Did that come off a boot? No, it didn't. It will be thrown in.
He was an excellent junior, Tommy. He got drafted by the Kangaroos straight out of the system, and then had some real bad luck with back injuries, so it's good to see him up and about today, and he's done quite well with Richmond this year as well.
So thrown in here now, right in the middle for both sides. Appeals for a high tackle, will be a dump actually, coming back to Old Ivanhoe. Umpire paid the advantage, not sure how much advantage there was. They've under a bit of pressure here, but they've done relatively well. That's a risky kick. It's just going to work for them. They go with that handball over the top. They're trying to play quickly, and it's coming off for them at times. It's inviting pressure at other times. That one there, the Sharon bounced over everybody. Gets to the back of the pack. Ball at centre half back here for old Geelong. They go with their handball over the top. Tom Ball's got it here now on the left foot. Numbers inside 50 here now. Just needs to read it the best. Wasn't able to hold on to it with Sloss. Handball here now. Here's an opportunity. Right-footed snap. Off a step, and he's missed. Just a bit too much on it from Tom Gorell. 1-2 for him on his day so far. And you just saw the effect of the win there. William Sloss was in a great position, but the ball just kept going away from him there, Jared. Yeah,
absolutely. Obviously pushing towards us, and even the snap from Tom, I think on a dry day, that would have gone straight through the middle, but the wind got a hold of it.
So 4-5-29, plays 1-4-10, 19 points the margin here for Old Ivanhoe on the Greg Sewell Forging scoreboard. And again, this play on, and I'm just going to go for a run has been the thing. Charlie Opie does well there, runs his full measure. Goes long down the line to a one-on-one. Plenty of holding going on by both players. Umpire deems it legal. It's over on that far side here now. Ball just ping-ponging around at the bottom of the pack. Eventually it does come out. And Nagel's got it. Always easy to identify in his pink boots. That one there, tried something inventive, didn't work. Old Geelong in now. They're just under so much pressure. It's going to be holding the ball. They almost were ready to take the advantage, but he wasn't sure what the free kick was for. Goes laterally. Here's Tom McKenzie. 55 out. Sidesteps. Goes for a run. Goes for the hit-up target. Plenty of holding going on. Umpire eventually gets the whistle. That's a brilliant sidestep there from Tom McKenzie. And it sets up an opportunity for the second goal of the quarter for Old Ivanhoe. Just waiting to see who the...
It's the first game of Lockie Minland. So
there
if
we
he
go.
kicks this, you'll watch the boys run to him because it's only second quarter of senior footy.
As I said, senior debut. He's played 12 games, whether it be the under-19s or the Rezzies so far this season. So he's got 11 goals, so he knows how to kick them. But here's an opportunity in senior footy Watch them get around him here. 25 out directly in front. And that's nearly hit my car. So not a good one there, but he'll learn in the first game up. And a bit of a let-off there because that was a good hit-up target. That's what you want him presenting.
100%. Yeah, it was a beautiful kick by Tom McKenzie, but it was Charlie Nash who got the ball to Tom. So a lot of skillful players for old Ivanhoe getting involved.
We just have a slight delay to retrieve the footy. It's 4-6-30, plays 1-4-10. 10 minutes gone here in this second quarter. Here with the VAFA Premier B Showcase. All 5 Premier B's games live here today. Big thank you to My Sport Live for their generous support in doing all the broadcasting across the VAFA this weekend. There's a lot of games and a lot of people manning the cameras, so thank you very much for that as the ball goes over on that far side, and we'll have a boundary throw-in right on that far side here now at Como Park. Wind sort of come and go. There's been a few minutes where we're holding on here to the canopy, and then there's been a few other times where we've been a bit more relaxed. Slightly later start time, so we'll wait and see as it gets later in the game whether the lights need to come on or, well, they started with the yellow footy, so they don't need to change it.
They said after half-time they're going to turn the lights on, but you can, in the first quarter we said, is the wind favouring one end? I can tell you, being out there at quarter time, it's definitely not. It's definitely pushing across the ground, and we've seen that Geelong haven't really dominated, so it's pretty even, the wind.
Just swirling around at the moment, and it's just who can be a little bit cleaner as they just get it inside 50 here now. That's brilliant defence there that time. And that kick, just a bit too much air on at that time from Nicholas Varakia. Right in front of us here now. Sharon will beat everybody. If you're not playing, you probably should be still sitting down. There's been plenty in it for both sides. They know how much this means.
He's pretty good on the sledge, Paddy, so I'm sure he said something nice then to the injured player who stood up.
So thrown in here now, right in front of us in the broadcast booth. Able to escape free. Did really good job, did Middleton. Goes with a high ball. Big fly from behind. Wasn't able to get a mid on it, but geez, he's got some big wingspan, doesn't he? Garrell, you can see how he's kicking goals for fun. But right now, Reeve Smythe, for me, is best on by the length of the Flemington Straight.
He's doing a fantastic job.
That one turned over, though, at half-back by one of his teammates, and that's not his fault, but Garrell's going to have an opportunity here now. Just popped up. Went with a massive pack fly just a few moments ago and is able to pop up this time on that far side, about 25 out. And, well, maybe the wind just died down for 30 seconds, although there you go, it pops up again. So there's no easy shots. He's 1-2 so far today. It's 52 goals on the season, as we said, coming into the game. He's first for the goal kicking and 15 clear of the next best. So in he comes here now for Old Geelong's second. And they've been outplayed, but if they're only 14 down, they'll take that every day of the week. Misses to the near side. Kept it low to keep it out of the breeze, but just didn't strike it as cleanly as he would have liked. So 4-6-30 plays 1-5-11. 13 minutes gone here in the second quarter on the Greg Sewell Forging scoreboard.
He'll be disappointed with that, Tom. He's kicked, what, 1 goal, 3 or 4 now already?
1-3,
so
yes.
Could he definitely have a few on the board. Watch Paddy Nash kicking in here. This will give you a good indication of the wind. I expect he'll still be able to kick at 50 or 60 metres.
Oh, they're giving him a fair bit of room, and he just goes for a trot. And yeah, a little bit of wind on it, but still nearly got it to halfway. And when you have backman who can do that out of a kick out, well, you're able to get it out the back a few times. And that one there, it's an interesting bit of play, that one. Don't know how to describe that one particularly. The kick went sideways, and then they thumped at the opposition, and then it's been intercepted again by Scott Dixon. That was a weird 20 seconds of footy, and Old Geelong trying to use something from it. Good hit-up target this time to Connor Dixon. It's just clouded over here at Home Park. Goes inside Sloss, in fact. It's Harry Graham. He goes on quickly. That's a high ball, and Mark taken. It was an interesting decision to play on, but it's worked for them. And Mark taken here now, just 12 or so metres out on a slight angle. And it is number 33, Jacob Jess, who's kicked 6 goals this season.
It was a really interesting decision to come to this side of the ground, the defensive side after winning the ball in the middle, and Geelong might capitalise.
That one there, he snapped at it and he's missed it to the left. So it's just such a hard day with these wind conditions, the goal kicking. Great opportunity for them. They've had, that's probably one of their better entries in terms of where they've had their set shots from. They've had a couple where have been right up against the boundary line or a snap where it's against the wind. But it does read 1-6 to 4-6. 18 points the margin as Patrick Nash goes for a trot and kicks it out. As they will be chopping the arms. Free kick going the way of old Ivanhoe. As goes with that kick now, and mark taken. Harrison Reid. In fact, he played on. That'll be holding the ball. Look down at the notes, and they've turned it over, and they're going to go for a trot here now. A little bit of indecision. He's run a long way there. He's coughed it up. The turnovers from both teams have been pretty comical at times. That one there, not the best, as old Ivanhoe now trying to run. A spare back inside 50, old Geelong, so they've got to lower the eyes. They go to Nagel, and very well done there from Lockie Allen. Just read the ball better and got himself into a great position. Looks to switch, and it's going to be a rush behind. So it's the old Liam Stocker who kicked goal of the year a few years ago for Carlton against the boundary line, but it was to the wrong goal. So you'd hope that you wouldn't lose by a point because that could be a costly one there. But it reads 4-7 now. But that one coming off the boot of an old Geelong player. As Mark gets taken again over on that far side, and it's just a grubber kick going inside. Hasn't been pretty footy. It's been highly pressured. Kick right to the hot spot here now. Good spoil from behind. And boundary line looked like it hit the point post from where I was, and it did. So it will be thrown in here now. It's just those kicks inside 50 on both sides. I think that's probably that connection piece that is just being let down a bit at the moment, Jared.
Yeah, 100%. I'd like to see either team actually get some control as well. I mean, it's such a big ground. There's so much space, but both teams almost Russian roulette, just going 100 miles an hour each time they get the footy.
So ball thrown in here now. Inside 50 for old Ivanhoe. It's a good tackle there that time by William Murphy. We'll go again. 16 and a half gone in this second quarter. It's been an entertaining game so far. It's been fast. It's been free-flowing. And old Ivanhoe pinch one here. Socket off the deck. They've just willed it through. And eventually they get it.
Billy Murphy.
And it is. They just... whatever it took right there to get a goal. And they've been able to get that one through. With William Murphy, as you said, his sixth goal on the season, and you just feel like they deserve that. Although their forward entries haven't been great, they've just been willing it forward, and that's what that one was. A couple of sockers off the deck. There was a couple of appeals for kicking in danger, but not to be, and they're able to get it now out to a game-high 25-point lead. 5-7-37 plays 1-6-12 here on the Greg Sewell Forging scoreboard here at Como Park as it has clouded over the last few minutes, and that one there just trying to exit D50, which we saw in the first 15 minutes of the game, really struggled to get it when Old Geelong got a little bit of a run on and got a few opportunities. They exited with ease.
Yeah, the last time these two teams played, Billy Murphy got a really hard tag, but today's head-to-head with Jimmy Adams, and they've both been going okay.
So back in the middle here now, 25-point margin. They're a team that's only won one of their last 8, old Ivanhoe. They've been competitive, but they just haven't been able to get the job done as many times as they would have liked. As they go inside 50, that's a good mark. Just read that better than everybody else. That time did Jacob Jess. And he'll be kicking it from right on the arc of 50. The wind is blustering again. So the whole canopy above us here. Got some weights down on most of the sides, but the one here that's right in front of me that would knock me out, that's the one we don't have any weight on. So the wind's blustering. That's a pretty good strike, but it's to the left. So another minor score for Old Geelong, 1-7 it reads here now. 5-7-37 to 1-7-13. And before I can even finish reading the scoreboard, they're quickly getting it out of D50, albeit to an Old Geelong player, but then he's coughed it up and they're running through the middle of the ground through Mackenzie. Good handball link-up chain. They're able to get to the other side of the ground real quick. There'll be a downfield free kick. Just wait and see who will be taking it. I don't think there was anything malice in it, just sort of got pushed afterwards. Jared, don't know if you got eyes on it.
Yeah, it was Sam Daniel. He just got a late hit after he kicked the footy. Yeah, not too much in it, but it was definitely there, and Tiger Nagel gets a chance to kick a goal.
Well, he missed one earlier. On the other end, did Tiger Nagel. This one here, directly in front, but he's going to have to kick it just over 50 metres, you'd reckon. It's given it plenty of air, and with the wind just drifting across, still stays inside this field of play. Under a bit of pressure here now. High kick now onto the broadcast side. That's a good mark, and just read that better than anyone else did Simpson. He goes quickly now. Kick down the line. Harris Smythe there, unable to hold on to it. Reeve Smythe, I should say. There's Old Geelong here now. They've got a 3-on-1 inside 50. Good luck reading this ball, though. That is a brilliant mark. 3-on-1 right there. Had no right to Jacob Agrotis, and he's held on to that one and stopped what would be a near certain goal, Jared.
Unbelievable. Old Ivanhoe defenders had pressed up. It was a 3-on-1, as you said, and he just kept his eyes on the footy, and he's definitely saved a goal there. Fantastic.
Oh, if they can somehow get down the other end and turn that around, that's a near 12-point turnaround. Kick inside 50, gets the Dukes out. It's going to be a late whistle for a high. You'd reckon too far out to score given the conditions so far today. I believe it's number 32, Sam Daniel, who will get the free kick.
Watch Pat Nash try to get a handball here.
Yeah, they're all over that.
It's a set play.
So he goes with a high ball here, right to the hot spot. Can someone take a fly? Thump from behind here now. Not out of danger yet, Old Geelong. Handball coming out here now, whacked backwards, which is always inviting pressure, but they do pretty well here to get it to half back. That handball just outside of the intended target, but they're just willing it forward by whatever means necessary. I'll say good composure there, but good smother. There's Old Geelong. There's a little bit of indecision. Feels like a bit of overhandballing, but does incredibly well for a run, and somehow they've got an imbalance again. Does he keep going? Goes with it over the side. He let it bounce. It went high, which is not what they wanted. Whacked forward here. Old Ivanhoe defending for their lives. Well done again. Jacob Agrotis. Great poise. Couple of missed opportunities for Old Geelong. They're getting them, which they weren't getting in the opening quarter, too many of them. But that one there, what do you reckon, Tom Gorell? You kicked 52 goals. So you just go back and turn the back on that one?
I would have thought he was a bit unselfish there, Tommy. I would have backed him to kick that.
So Old Ivanhoe now get it to their half forward, although they've turned it over again. Whoever's in charge of doing the stats of this game for turnovers, good luck. As there's been a few, not through lack of skill, it's just been the pressure and perceived pressure, I think, from both sides.
It's the first bit of kind of tempo footy any team's played this quarter. We'll see how it goes.
So it goes long down the line again. Big fly from behind there that time. We've seen some big flies so far this quarter. Good handball link-up chain here now, and they're off and running. Old Ivanhoe goes for a kick inside 50. It's going to carry to the back. Read that better than everybody. Whistle. Free kick going Old Geelong. Feels like the players that are reading the ball the best are going to the back of the pack. It just seems to be going a little bit further than you initially think, and that's a great example of that. He's not touched that either, so that'll be Lasso. Just floats a little bit more than you would think. That kick there, just the required journey. They play on anyway, and that one there, he does get to the back of the pack. Can he keep this one in? That's going to be a high tackle and a free kick going the way of William Murphy, who's kicked one already. And again, he got to the back of the pack there now. I almost yell the coach here, but at half-time you'd be saying, boys, if you're not going to be at the front, almost go to the back.
100%, yeah, ball just carrying at either end, really, as well. And he's a bit of a, got the party tricks, Billy, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him pull something out here. He loves these situations.
Oh, he went in the right foot banana earlier. And what's he going to go with here? Looks like he goes the same. That one hits the post. Good effort from there, but thumps into the right goalpost. So 5-8-38 plays 1-7-13. 23 minutes gone here on the Greg Sill Forging scoreboard. It's been an entertaining game of football so far. You feel like Old Geelong very easily could get 2-3 goals in about 3 or 4 minutes because they have got 3 times in the last 5 minutes a 3-on-1 situation inside their own forward 50. Just haven't been able to convert. So you can see here even Sloss is working forward of the ball here, but it's just getting it down there is the big problem.
Spot on. They're definitely pressing up Old Ivanhoe. It's worked for them, but it is very risky as well if they can get one out the back.
Oh, it's a risky run there now, but it's opened up the middle of the ground as they go quickly. That's that man Sloss who we talked about before. Does it have the carry on it? Brilliant Spall going back with the flight there that time. Not out of danger yet though, Old Ivanhoe. Follows up. Is that holding the ball? Umpire says it is. And they play on, go quickly. Smothered, not sure about the decision to play on, but they've still got it here. Gorell will be a ball up.
Yeah, that's just one where your big full forward's got a free kick, 45 metres out. You let him go back and have a shot for goal. Jacob Jess has played on, kicked it straight into the man on the mark.
So it's still in the attacking half here for Old Geelong. Ruckman underneath it, and we'll ball up and go again.
It was a great spoil by young Angus Watson playing his first year of senior footy as well, running back with the flight.
The wind is blustering here now. Probably hear it through our mics. Started to just cool off a little bit the last few minutes. Nagel there, good tackle. And we'll go again. 25 minutes gone here. Old Ivanhoe, 25-point leaders and deserving here at the moment. Old Geelong got a goal late in the first quarter. Can they pinch one here now? They've had opportunities. That's a good hit off the ball there. Fair as well. Sloss got it. Got the handball out. But that handball got it out of forward 50. And you know what? You don't mind that. You just whack it out with the ball and you can go again with the lasso. You can set yourself up. And what's been a difficult conditions to mark for any key forwards. That's a risky kick. It invited a lot of pressure. Followed up there that time, though. Here's an opportunity if anyone can get some clean run. Handball over the top. Nothing to kick to whatsoever. Goes over the top here now. Got the Dukes out. Was that enough for a mark? They do say it is. Charlie Naish, good kick there in the end because there was nothing downfield, Jared.
There wasn't because of the turnover. Nearly every player was in the other half of the ground. And it was a shocking turnover and gave old Ivanhoe a chance to get possession.
So here's Charlie Naish. Goes short. That kick, just 15. Maybe the round up there for that 15 metres. And that's a interesting spot to kick it inside 50. And that's a good mark taken. If you give it up there, you can let them run through the corridor. Here's an opportunity potentially for them. But numbers are set up pretty well for old Ivanhoe. But ball got ricocheted off about 3 sets of hands. Lovely smother. We've seen a few of those from both sides. Murphy's in there now. Ball right inside the centre square. Handball laterally. Great tackle there. Pressure action both sides been really good, especially in this quarter. 26 and a half gone. Handball's out here. He's probably been the best player so far this quarter. Murphy, that one there, could have been chopping the arms, not to be paid. It feels like every time he touches a footy, William Murphy, just something exciting is going to happen, it seems like.
Oh, he's extremely dynamic, and they've given him a bit of time and space today, which has been a bit unusual for this year. He's had some heavy tags, so he's making the most of it.
So 26 and a half gone. The first quarter went 28 and a half minutes. Can either team get a red time goal here now? Goes with a kick right in front of the interchange bench. Ricocheted off about 3 sets of hands. Did well just to get any sort of pressure. Nagel's got it here now. Handball into the centre square. Goes with a short kick. That one just the required journey to Mackenzie. He played on, just invited some pressure. Goes to Nagel. Too far out to score. Goes out wide. That one there, not his best kick, and good intercept mark taken by Ted Middleton.
Good strong mark.
And Middleton now at half back. Goes over the top to William Horsfall. So Matt Harvey about to get back on the ground with us. Done a pretty good job shutting him down in this first half. Don't have the numbers in front of me, but done a good job on him, on someone who's averaging 38 disposals so far this season, and just absolutely making a mockery of a lot of opposition midfielders. That's going to be a trip. And a bit of afters as well. And we're just going to wait. There'll be 50 called, and just got to be smart here not to give away an overturn or something like that. Well, it's going to be 100. So a red time goal right on the siren. We talked about it a few moments ago. We're just going to wait and see who's after it. It's just they're still going here. Someone just needs to grab the footy and go kick the goal and get into half time, because it's been a pretty hotly contested game. And there's just a fair bit going on here at the moment. From what I understood, there's a trip that happened. That was the initial free kick. Looked like there maybe was... I might need to get the replay out. I don't want to say a lot of malice in the trip because I didn't have a great view on it. But whether there's some stuff said after, it's immediately got into his face, and there was a 50 paid and then a repeat 50. So it's going to be a certain goal. I believe it's going to be number 13, Connor Dixon, who will reap the rewards. And Old Geelong have only kicked one goal so far in this game. They kicked their only goal of the game in the last probably minute of the first quarter, and they're going to get one here after the siren in the second to go in with some momentum. Really haven't allowed a lot to cheer about, if we're being honest, but you know what? That just brings some momentum, and they've been far from their best. And to go in only 3 goals down, they'll take that every single day of the week.
Yeah, 100%. Bit of spice to end the first half. I don't think there was much in it. I think it was just an accidental trip on Connor Dixon, but he certainly didn't like it, and that's the reason that he got the double 50. There was a bit of remonstration on both ends, and sometimes, when footy's not going your way, you just needed something like that just to get you back into it, and all of a sudden, we've only got 19 points the difference, where it's 13 scoring shots to 9, and old Ivanhoe's really been the dominant team, so...
Well, we're going to take a break here for half-time. We're going to have a chat with both clubs' presidents shortly. Might just stay on for a couple of seconds here. The umpire's having a chat to the old Geelong players, and I think very smartly, old Geelong players going up the stairs first, and then old Ivanhoe go up the stairs next just to avoid anything. It's been a pretty hotly contested game of football, and exactly what you love to see in the VAFA. We'll take a quick break and then get a chat with both clubs' presidents. Half-time here. Old Ivanhoe leading here by 19 points, 38-19. We'll take a very quick break and we'll chat with the club presidents in shortly. Welcome back here to VAFA Premier B Showcase. All 5 Premier B games live and free this afternoon on VAFA TV. It is the halftime show brought to you by Florida Cheese. And I'll tell you what, it was a fiery end to that half there. And joining me here now is the old Geelong president, Simon Bones. I want to get your thoughts on what was an interesting first half of footy. Plenty of feeling in it. There's a big game for both sides and a big finish there in that half, mate.
Yeah, well, we've sort of followed old Ivanhoe up and down through the grades a bit, so we've got a good rivalry game with them, and we drew the first time we played them, and I think they've probably outplayed us, and we're lucky to be as close as we are, but we're still in the game, which is good.
And it's a big game for the side, isn't it? A win, well, all of a sudden finals is still a conversation. Goes the other way. Like, you still got a couple of games buffer, but it's not a hell of a lot. You're feeling a little bit nervous if it doesn't go your way here today.
Yeah, very nervous, mate. It's an incredible season in the sense that there really isn't a weak team in B grade this year. So apart from Collegians, as we all know, are undefeated. If you don't turn up, you're not going to win against any opposition. And old Ivanhoe always turn up, so we're going to lift our game in the second half especially.
Yeah, it's all to play for in the second half. And, of course, today all the Premier B's games getting showcased on VAFA TV. It's good to see. It's a great standard of footy and it's a great competition. It's great to see all the games getting broadcasted, especially your one here today.
Yeah, no, we've when I arrived here in 1990, we were an E-grade club. And we've slowly sort of gone up. We've become sort of entrenched in B grade to a certain degree. As you said before, though, we're certainly not safe this year. But it's a great standard of footy, and it means you can attract better players to the club too, which is really important. We've got a good crew, and also having the women, we've got such a big oval. We all train together on a Thursday, so it's and they're in Premier A, which is great for them. So it's good times down at Old Geelong.
100%. You talk about the players you can attract. Well, Matt Harvey, 38 disposals a game he's averaging so far this season, and Tom Gorell, well, he's kicked 52 goals after he just won in the first half. He's 15 clear of the next best, so he's having a pretty good year.
Yeah, no, we're very lucky. You know, Tom's father played down here, and Harves is a great mate of our coach, and he's been an absolute star. And the things you don't see also with him, he's really good off the field. So both of them are. They've been really good clubmen, and they've slotted right into the joint, and we love having them around the club.
Now, speaking of off-field, I'll just sort of give you the floor here now. Obviously getting at the business end of the season with the on-field stuff, but is there anything coming up in the next few weeks off the field for the Old Geelong Football Club?
Well, we have about 4 pivot lunches a year. We're lucky enough to have a bloke called John Anderson, who's a journo with the Herald Sun and on 3AWs in the morning, and he's very well connected, so we tend to get pretty good speakers. We've got Andrew Sutherland, the ex-CEO of Cricket Australia, coming down, who actually is an old Geelong boy. At the last lunch, Ando spoke. We had a criminal barrister, and they've really well attended our pivot lunches. And then we're looking forward to the end of year, best and fairest and silly Mondays and all those sorts of things are the ones that are coming up. But we're well looked after. We Harlow and the ABC Group and Abercrombie's are our sort of 2 major sponsors, and they tip in a bit of coin, and they enjoy coming down to the club too. The people involved in those businesses.
Well, I must say I was very happy when I saw Harlow was one of the sponsors. That's a very well frequented place, and it's a very good bar as well. But thanks for joining me here at the halftime chat here, and best of luck for the second half. Hopefully that last goal just gets the boys up and about a little bit.
Yeah, we hope so. Thanks, Geordie. Appreciate coming down to Como and doing this. It's a great day. Thanks, mate.
Absolutely right. Well, we'll give you 30 seconds to switch over the mics. Thank you then again to the Old Geelong president for joining me in the halftime chat. And, well, now we'll go the old Ivanhoe route. And, geez, I tell you what, the other way, you played a really good half of footy there, and then just out of nowhere, just a 100-metre penalty off the ball almost, and it completely changes things. But good to talk to you, Chris.
Well, hopefully, Geordie, it doesn't change things. It obviously happened on the siren, so we hope that no momentum's been gained by that pretty ordinary piece of play by our boys. But really, Geordie, that's sort of been the story of our season. We've played some really good football in patches, quarter here, half there, but then we just let ourselves down time and time again, and that's why we're in the position that we're in.
Well, it's a close battle at the bottom. I was just speaking, obviously, before with the Old Geelong president. They lose today. Well, they're almost in a relegation battle. They win. They're up again. For you guys, well, a couple of draws, which, I don't know, potentially don't go your way now because there's been so many of them. There's no half points. But it is been quite close down the bottom of the table. I know you probably haven't as many wins as you like, but outside of probably collegiate, it's been really close competition.
Oh, incredibly close competition. 2 weeks ago, playing De La Salle, who was second on the ladder. We beat them at home earlier in the year. We're 10 points up with 10 minutes to play, lose by 8. Incredibly close competition. Really outside of the 2 games against collegians, we've been in every other game all the way through the season. So anyway, we'll hopefully pinch a few.
See what happens in the second half. I wanted to ask just about a few players here. So Patrick Nash, you thought he's been really impressive. Obviously, AFL experience. He's averaging 26 disposals so far in this game. Obviously, been around for a few years for you guys now. What's sort of his experience like added to a group which is still building here at this level?
Obviously his experience and just his energy around the club. He's a very, very enthusiastic young man and got a great love for the game of football and a great love for playing with guys he went to school with, obviously playing under his younger brother as our head coach and his father as our assistant, and his younger brother's in the team as well. So there's a really, really strong Nash connection at the football club, but certainly has a lot of passion for the place. Like Chris has coached the club previously, so Pat would have been about year 10, year 11 when Chris was doing that role. So lots of passion for the football club. Lots of enthusiasm when he's around the place, and never in a bad mood.
No, that's exactly what you need around the club. And I've got to also ask, I'll be rude to not ask about the 2 Agrotis boys. I play cricket with their old man, and I've heard plenty of stories, so I just want to, they follow their old man's footsteps, does Lucas and Jacob, with the on-field fight and also the off-field fight as well.
Well, they're 2 fantastic young men and playing really, really good football, particularly Bobby or Jacob. Lucas has been in and out with injury and hopefully starting to get his body right, which will be really, really encouraging for us. But for Jacob, he's just been fantastic down back, and he's been given more and more responsibility as the years have ticked by. Nick Riddle retired a couple of years ago, who was an outstanding key defender. And then to see Jacob step up in the role that he's sort of playing now for us, in the absence of a couple other key defenders who moved on at the end of last year, he's just been a sensation. So all credit to him, and credit to Lucas. But Matthew's a great man as well, and then they're a great family of our footy clubs. So we hope they stick around for us for a while to come yet.
Absolutely right. Well, I'll give you the floor here, and just let the listeners know if there's any functions coming up over the next few weeks for Old Ivanhoe. Obviously, in the business end of the season, where every game matters, but still plenty of off-field things to get around.
No, thank you, Jordan. Next week's our last home game of the year, so it's our last Chelsworth Club lunch, and we've got a fantastic guest speaker in former Richmond legend Matthew Richardson as our guest speaker there. So for those of you listening on the dial, get yourself onto the Old Ivanhoe socials, or get yourself onto the Old Ivanhoe website at oigfc.com.au. Secure yourself a ticket. We expect it to be a fantastic afternoon, most likely a sellout, which would mean tickets in excess of 100 being sold, which would be fantastic for our coffers. And obviously, we hope, we're told, we're promised, it will also be the last game where Pine Lodge is still standing before it gets knocked down and rebuilt. A few issues with Melbourne Water and the school that are still being worked through, but we hope that it's all knocked over pretty soon, and then we'll find ourselves a new home for next year, and hopefully be back at Chelsworth Park in 2028. Absolutely. If not then, 2029.
Absolutely right. Well, that was very good. Get your tickets. Matty Richardson, he'd have some good stories there, and after a nice lunch, I reckon that'd be a good one.
Brilliant spitting in his lunch, Jordan. It's always a good feed, so make sure you get yourself down.
Absolutely right. Well, thanks for joining me, Chris, and best of luck for the second half.
Thank you very much, Jordan. All the best to you too.
Well, that is the halftime show. Thank you to Fliridia Cheese for that one. Take a quick break here as the umpires are out on the ground, and what was a fiery end to that half. We'll be back in a few short minutes to preview the third quarter in a must-win game for both these sides. Welcome back here to Como Park, the VAFA TV Premier Bees showcase all 5 Prem B games live and free here on VAFA TV. Half-time. Thank you to both clubs' presidents who were able to have a great chat to us about the on-field and the off-field coming up the next few weeks. Really do appreciate those times there. My name is Jordan Mole. Alongside me here is a man who, well, had a bit of an incident that happened at half-time, and a man who has been a coach here. Now he's acting as a paramedic, and everything hopefully all good over by the coffee vet. He's also got me a coffee. So good man is Jared here next to me. What are we expecting here in this second half as we're about to get underway?
Well, Jordy, the lights are on. That's the first thing we noticed, and the yellow footy's out. So, look, the wind has definitely not died down. Geelong's obviously got a bit of energy here, so I'll let you call.
Oh, so under away here. If you didn't see the first half, it was all old Ivanhoe, but they got a goal late off a 100-metre penalty, and they're going to get 2 goals in just as many seconds. Great start for old Geelong. Exactly how you're drawing it up. And as we said, they've scored 2 goals in 20 seconds of play, kicking goal after the siren to begin, or to end that second quarter, I should say. And then in their first forward 50, they get a goal, and it's their 3rd goal here now, 30 seconds into proceedings. Great start for old Geelong.
It was Connor Dixon again, so he's kicked the one just on the siren at half-time, and he's just kicked that one to get them back into it. So very animated bench down here as well. So obviously the coaching staff got them fired up, and they've started really well. Certainly
right. Oh, fair to say that he's kicked 2 goals in 22 seconds. I actually don't know how many times that would have happened, because it takes that long to get back to the middle. So Connor Dixon with 2 of the quickest goals you'll see, albeit with a break in the middle for half-time. Old Geelong inside 50 again. They're getting another mark. Plays on, don't know why. And that'll be holding the ball. Maybe he thought it was touched off the boot, perhaps. Yeah, it just felt like he just went straight away. Must have thought it was touched off the boot, or someone yelled play on or something like that, because that was a golden opportunity. It was a good mark from Jacob Jess. Just got a little bit confused about what the situation was there, Jared.
Yeah, he's made a couple of funny decisions. He's the one that took the advantage off Tom Gorell just before half-time. So, they'd be ruining that, because he should be having a shot for goal.
Goes short. Mark taken in the middle of the ground by Harrison Reid. You had him as a tagger role. I think he's done a good job today just getting his own ball as well. So he goes inside 50. It's a high kick again. Just gets to that back of the pack, which it has for a majority of the game. Nice tackle there, and we'll have a ball up inside 50. Old Ivanhoe's first inside 50 here of this second half. The scoreboard in this quarter to Abercrombie's, proudly supporting the old Geelong Football Club since 2019. Whistle, push, free kick, old Ivanhoe. Number 19, I believe it is, the first game up in the seniors, Lockley Millen. And for anyone who's been watching since the start, he had a shot from probably about 20 out directly in front and absolutely sprayed it. And with the way footy goes, he'll go back and kick this.
He'll just push this one straight through the middle. And, sometimes a bit of a flip of a coin, those ruck contests. And Lockie Dunn a bit unlucky there, but we'll see how the first gamer goes this time.
What would be a immediate response? It's a pretty good-looking kick off the boot. Floating, and it's through. And he's got his first goal in senior footy. Misses one from 20 out directly in front. Then kicks one from 45 on a tough angle. And look at them get around him. So far, that's your goal of the day. Brought to you by Abercrombie. But I tell you what, that's a great response there, because what a great start from old Geelong. Got the goal and then got the mark inside 50, played on. They go end-to-end and get an immediate response. Back to 19 points, Jared.
I'd be kicking himself, Jacob Jess, that's for sure. But isn't it fantastic to see, no matter what the level is, when a first gamer or a player kicks their first goal for a club, just that's what footy's all about, I reckon. Nearly every player for old Ivanhoe ran to him, and all of a sudden they've got the momentum back.
So back to 19 points. Hadn't been a high-scoring game so far, but we've had 3 goals in 3 minutes of play pretty much here now. So right here on centre wing, hotly contested ball in what is a must-win game for both sides. We spoke to both presidents at half-time, and they echoed those feelings as they've been able to get a spare man inside 50, albeit in a very tough position. And it is Jess looking to make up for the wrongs of a few moments ago. It's a good spot to kick the ball. In fact, it gets to the back. That's where the wind just played a massive role there. That looked like it was very easily going to be marked by the old Ivanhoe defender, but that probably sailed over his head by 5 metres, Jared.
It did, and old Ivanhoe straight out again. They've had this plan all day just to move quickly from kick in.
So the wind is starting to really blow here, and the half-time coffee is definitely a good decision, as it's starting to pick up there, as that's a rare error coming out of D50, is out on the full. Free kick going old Geelong's way. Goes onto the right boot. High kick. 45 metres out. Big spoil from behind here now. Lots of bodies around that footy. Old Ivanhoe through Nagel are able to exit here now, albeit not a kick to anyone's advantage. Just read that better than anybody else that time, did Jordan Quirk. He goes for a risky kick into the middle, but it's a team that's taken that risk in the corridor who's really worked here now. He'll go for a bit of a trot and go wide. If you're old Ivanhoe, you don't mind giving up that kick. He could have easily taken a bounce there and gone through the corridor, so good manning up there that time.
Yeah, it's given old Ivanhoe a chance to set up behind the footy, so they're going to need to either pierce or go long, which they've done.
So Scott Dixon goes inside 50. That's a good mark. I think some
Jacob
Dukes get
again,
out. Now, there we go. He's had a good few minutes. Yeah, just got the Dukes out there, and a good contested mark. Jacob Jess, he's had a few opportunities in this game so far. 9 games this season, 6 goals. In fact, I'm just waiting to see. In fact, it's going to be they're not going to pay them up. They're going to play a holding free kick. And Michael Nichols, which they'll take that every day of the week because he's got 25 goals this season.
He's on the right side for a left-footed too. It'll suit him perfectly. So as you said, Geelong will be thrilled with this.
So that was an interesting one. Mark Pade doesn't get it and gets it off and then says, off you come. That's a bit stiff. But he should get credited for a goal assist as this one goes through Nichols. That one there just leaking out to the left and just sort of punched through for a minor score. So 3-9 now it reads. 3-9-27, plays 6-8-44. 6 minutes gone here in this third quarter on Abercrombie's scoreboard. Proudly supporting the old Geelong Football Club since 2019. Experience the Abercrombie's way today. Thumping kick out of fullback, and again, mark taken by Lockie Allen. We saw this from old Ivanhoe flip the other way in the first half. Old Geelong couldn't exit D50, and to start this second half, it's been the other way. So long kick here now, 45 metres out, gets to the back, whistle, block, free kick going the way of... Oh, umpire actually pointed the wrong way there. I thought he pointed old Geelong's way. In fact, it's going to be an old Ivanhoe free kick. Goes for a run, and it's a dumping kick here to centre wing. Unable to hold on to it was the first game of Millen, who kicked the goal of the day in his senior debut a few moments ago, and an unfortunate mistake for Horsfall, who's been awesome. He slipped as he kicked on what is a bit of a muddy surface. Can they make them pay here now? Left-footed kick inside 50, just a metre and a half away from the intended target, and it skittles over the line for a boundary throw in. 30 metres out. Chance for old Ivanhoe to get a bit of territory as they kick 1 goal this quarter. Old Geelong have kicked 2.
He'd be disappointed with that, Rowe, because Tom McKenzie was all on his own in space and he just blasted onto his left foot out of bounds. It's been a bit like that all day, hasn't it?
Certainly has been. My apologies, 1 goal each so far in this quarter for both sides. Old Geelong getting one after the half-time siren on a 100-metre penalty, which sort of gave him a bit of a spark. Did he take the tackle on? Umpire said no. And it will be a ball up here. 8 minutes gone in this third quarter of action. Old Geelong 7th on the table, win here today. They're still in the finals hunt, lose, and they're in a relegation battle. Old Ivanhoe need to get something going. That's a good kick inside 50 here now. And it's going to be a free kick for a push. It'll be a free kick going the way of Charlie Naish, I believe, who's kicked 1 so far today already.
It's not the first time old Ivanhoe's taken the footy from one side of the forward 50 to the other, just with beautiful lowering of the eyes and kicking to the advantage side of the forward. And Charlie's normally a beautiful kick for goal, just like his brother Pat. So I'd be disappointed if he doesn't put this one through.
So he's on Essendon's VFL list. 2 games for them this season. He kicked 1 goal today. 19 goals in 12 games so far this season. Just to put that margin back on it, which we saw with a few minutes left in the second quarter. Thought it was a great spot to kick it from, I think it was Mantello kicking it inside 50.
Matt Harvey on, Harrow Reid straight in his pocket.
So in he comes here now and misses to the near side. 6-9-45, plays 3-9-27. I think that either says it's been inaccurate, but it has been difficult to kick. But you just feel if it's a couple of goals either way, especially if old Geelong could get a run on here, old Hyman go, geez, you've got a few, not 50-50 chances, but a few that you just love to be able to kick. And And those ones there is a good example of it, as ball goes right in front of us here in the old Geelong bench. Our runner cops the Sharon in the stomach there. Thrown in here now. Able to almost work it out. And that's just sort of rode the tackle pretty well there, but that was a rugby throw, that one. Nathan Cleary would have been happy with that one.
Plays a bit like Nathan Cleary, Billy does. He's got that evasive step.
Goes short. Centre half back here through Scott Dixon, who for me is probably best on for old Geelong. And he'd be in the top 3 players on the ground. Without him, the scoreline would read very differently, I dare say. Say the same about Reeves Smythe. Good contest down the line here. Able to get it out the back, and they've got numbers at the fall of the ball. Picked up here now. Went for an inboard handball. Just a metre behind, but they're just trying to will it forward. Whack forward here now. Good gang tackle there from the old Ivanhoe defenders. They want to get a stoppage. Ball just ricocheting off hands. They do eventually get it out. They should be able to exit D50 here, although they invited pressure with the handball. And that's going to be a boundary throw-in. I believe it did come off a boot, but inside the forward 50 arc, so it will be a throw-in right on the 50-metre arc. 10.5 gone third quarter.
Just reckon it's a really important 5 minutes for both teams here. If Geelong kick one, they're right back in it. If old Ivanhoe get one, they kick 4 goals clear, they'll get their tails up.
So shallow throw-in this time. Picked up there. Good roving ability. High kick here now, and when you get the ball that high, you get it the man who kicks goals for fun. And those arms just kept going. That is a good mark there by Tom Gorell. He's kicked 1-3 so far today. He's had some difficult shots. This one, his easiest thus far. 20 out directly in front for a man who's kicked 52 goals on the season. As I spoke with the old Geelong president at half-time, could not speak more highly of the bloke.
Actually saw his dad at half-time having a beer, and we reminisced over the Big V game. He's got it.
There we go. He talked about it just a few moments ago. The next goal is huge, and it goes the way of old Geelong. Gorell there. They just kick it high and hope for the man with a Giannis Antetokounmpo type wingspan to go get it. And it wasn't far off, and now it's back just to 2 goals. 11.5 gone. 4-9-33 plays 6-9-45.
Yeah, really important part of the game now. This centre bounce, I reckon, will be quite ferocious. Both teams will be eager to hit back hard.
So, just nearly halfway through this third quarter. This game sort of opened up a little bit on the scoring sense, the last sort of 15 minutes of play. Taken out of the ruck there that time was the big man in Dunnell. And there is Murphy, who's just running free. I feel like they need to get a bit more attention on him. And that is a good run-down tackle there that time. Just did not see him coming, and he's a sore boy as well. I believe it's Patrick Naish who's down. We'll just wait and see. He's still down. The ball's over on that far side. I might watch the play, and Jared, you keep your eyes on Naish. As old Ivanhoe, they keep retreating ground.
No, he's up. He's okay.
He's up and go. Just got absolutely poleaxed. Didn't expect it. There's risky kick in the middle, and old Geelong, they're running freely now, although that one just bumped off the ball. That looked like it was holding the ball, and it was. Somehow numbers inside 50. Gorell's all on his own. That's who they're looking for. Good option. Great kick. Great execution. Don't know how that, I know it was off a turnover, but I don't know how that man is running free. Maybe one thing in the film, they'll go, what has happened there?
Yeah, they're obviously playing that high defensive press, and Nick Reeves Smythe had 2 forwards to cover, and it's just a beautiful kick by Sloss there. Could have blazed away, but just lowered his eyes, kicked it out into the space, and Tom gets his chance to kind of get Geelong within a goal.
Well, he's kicked 2-3 so far today to get it back to a goal, which would be the smallest margin for some time. 30 out, slight angle, goal umpire does not move. And he has his third 54 on the season for Tommy Gorell. Good luck catching him. And it is back to a goal the difference here in what is a must-win game for both sides.
Yeah, they've certainly lifted their intensity around the footy. That opportunity came from a tackle, a holding the ball decision. And I have noticed, Jordan, you mentioned it, Ted Middleton, number 8 for Geelong. Looks like he might have gone into a defensive role on Billy Murphy. So just keep an eye on that one. We've got Harrow Reid tagging Matt Harvey for Geelong. And I reckon number 8, Ted Middleton, might be on Billy now in a defensive role as well.
Good eyes on that. Special comments thanks to Hit IQ's game-changing Protect concussion management system. Those special comments there. As there'll be a free kick in the ruck. First one we've seen actually today, which is good. As Old Geelong now all over them at the moment. Can they get something on the scoreboard? Kick inside 50's a beauty. Mark will push in the back, I would have thought. It's nothing. Can't believe that one there. That looked like it was two hands in the back. It almost conceded that it was going to be marked, and Old Ivanhoe able to get a let off there. And they just need to get a bit of ball control here and maybe take the pace off the game a fraction, because it's all Old Geelong here for the last 10 minutes of play. Kick down the line. Old Geelong win it at the bottom of the pack. A few slipping and sliding going on, but they're just 1% ahead of the ball here at the moment. Need to take control of this because there's two forwards ahead of the ball for Old Geelong. Kick out into the near side wing, thumped over by that man, Scott Dixon, who's been brilliant today.
Yeah, between him and Horsfall behind the footy, they've had cool heads a lot of times and probably saved a few forward momentum from Old Ivanhoe a number of times.
So thrown in here again. That's man Murphy after it as well, and it'll be over the line, and we'll rinse and repeat. So thrown in here again, just in the attacking half for Old Geelong. If you've just joined us, Old Ivanhoe have led from the opening, and this is the closest it's been in some time. Ball just ricochets off all sets of hands, and it sets up for Gorell. He doesn't make many mistakes. That one just misses. Just sat for him there, and it was a hell of an effort. And he's 3-4 on the day now. That one there, a very tough chance, and just had a little bit too much curl on it. But it is under a goal. 5-10-40 plays 6-9-45. 16 minutes gone here on the Abercrombie's scoreboard. There's definitely no scoring end in terms of the wind. It's just been fluttering around. The lights are on. It's progressively getting darker here on what is a typical Melbourne winter's day here at Cone Park. So taken out of fullback by Naish. Good to see him back on his feet after the collision a few moments ago. That one there looked like Reeve Smythe had gone ahead in front of the ball because he was on the end of that one. And when he's there, it means it opens up opportunities. But that's a good mark there by Jacob Agrotis. He then goes for a bit of a trot, kicks out on this near side, but you just feel Old Geelong have got more numbers around the ball. That one there, though, intercepted, doing the handball game in a dangerous part of the ground. There is Reeve Smythe. They're able to go from one side of the ground to the other with ease, and they've got an acre of space in front of him. Decides not to bounce it and goes with a long kick down the line. Knew he was going to get pummeled. Did well. Handball inboard. Here's Nagel. Runs around. Was he tripped? Sidestep. Bit off more than he could chew. Ricocheted, luckily for them. And it just needs to finish. Rowan McKenzie gets his third. A little bit of luck there. Nagel tried something. Got ricocheted out in the tackle. Fell at his feet. That's your goal of the day so far for Abercrombie's. And Old Ivanhoe get a goal against the run of play. 51-40. 18 minutes gone here in the third. Classy finish.
Yeah, look, it started on half-back. I reckon Paddy Naish had 2 or 3 handballs, chained the ball. You know, it was a little bit risky, but that's the way they've played all day. But it was his composure across half-back that set up the switch to the far side of the ground, and Old Ivanhoe had a bit of space. And with their small forward lines with Nagel and Roe McKenzie and Tom McKenzie and Billy Murphy all down there, you want the footy on the ground, and that's what happened, and Rowan was able to finish on his left. So he's got 3 now. He kicked 5 last time, and he's on track to do that again.
There's a whistle. Just waiting to see. Oh, hang on. I believe it'll be the Old Geelong free kick, but it's a 6-6-6, so it's coming back. Just quickly go around the grounds, thanks to Harlow Bar. Collegians winning by 83 points against Old Camberwell, so they continue their winning streak as it goes inside 50 here now. Quick snap, hits the side of the boot, and that'll travel out of bounds on the full. We'll just keep going with around the grounds, and this just shows how important this game is for Old Ivanhoe, because Williamstown have beaten De La Salle 86-81 in what is a big upset there. Old Carey winning by a lot against Old Mulberrians, 135-54, and Bo Morris beating Ajax 99-47 at the moment. So that Williamstown win means that if Old Ivanhoe lose this, they could end up on the bottom of the table by the end of today. So it is a huge game in the complexion of their season and trying to stay up in Premier B's. That's a long kick down the line. Is it inside the field of play? It is. They do eventually take it over, and we'll have a repeat stoppage.
Unbelievable result. I mean, you'd think that Melburnians have been in outstanding form. They would have gone in favourites against Carey. No doubt the Williamstown would have been underdogs as well. And Ajax have been in really good form, but now they've lost 3 in a row. So, gee, that ladder really compresses now, and the gap between collegians and the rest gets bigger.
Yeah, well, Old Campbell came into the game, came into this round 4th, and they've just lost by nearly 100 points. So it is collegians to lose, as they say, but it's all about Old Geelong versus Old Ivanhoe now, which has been a spirited game since the opening contest. 20 minutes gone here in this third quarter. Old Ivanhoe have led for the entirety of the game. They got it back to 5 points, Old Geelong, a few minutes ago. A goal by Rowan McKenzie got it back out to 11. Big few minutes here. There's been a few red time goals so far this game. Can there be a couple more? Kick going forward for Old Geelong. There's numbers out here. Can it sit for them? Lovely pick up from Jess. Handballs it back. Gorell, high kick. Looks good. Has it got the carry? It has! What a goal, Tom Gorell. He's got 4. Some finish there, and it's back to 5 points.
He's kicked them all a number of different ways, hasn't he, Tom? I mean, that one from outside 50 with the wind the way that it's been just shows his class. He's run straight to the bench. He looks like he's needing a blow, but far out he has been the difference between the two teams, and he's the reason that Geelong are back in the game.
Such a difficult kick. His whole momentum was going towards the boundary line, and it was literally one step, and he was able to hit that one there, and it floated, and it never looked like missing. And that is some finish here now. Back to 5 points. 21 minutes gone here in the third quarter. Thank you to Abercrombie's scoreboard. Experience the Abercrombie's way today, proudly supporting the Old Geelong Football Club since 2019. And we're back in the middle. Goal for goal here the last few minutes. They need to get something going, as there'll be a late whistle for a high. Jack Bradley, I believe, will have it. Just copped one high going through that contest. Gives it off. High ball, inside 50. Good one-on-one contest here now at spurts. Old Geelong first for the footy. Just overrun at a fraction. Did well to follow up. Did Eggins. Goes with a short little ball. That's a high hit. And they're able to run here now. He's a sore boy. We'll keep eyes on that. We'll just wait and see. He's still down. Whether they stop play here. You'd reckon they'd have to. I don't think there's any malice in the hit.
No.
From what I saw, it's just... But he's in a fair bit of pain.
Looks like a shoulder,
a shoulder. Well, we'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully just a stinger, that one there. Just both teams an opportunity to have a breath. But yeah, he is, look, a very sore boy. It was just went in with that contest and just gave it up and then got bumped. Legally bumped, I dare say, without having the replay in front of us. But yeah, just a very sore right shoulder. There's a blood rule as well. Is it somebody else? Or is that just...
Looks like it could be his ribs. He's in a lot of pain, but it's definitely a fair bump by Sam Daniel, just incidentally in play.
So it's William Simpson in front of us here. It's some sort of... Yeah, the fact he just bent his arm there might be a rib, but we will see that. We'll keep an eye on that, as it's a blood rule as well. So there's a couple of forced changes here now as there's a bit of a stoppage. It's been a carnage sort of game, and that's just continued. There's number 27 coming off, Lachlan Eggins, for the blood rule. And yeah, we'll definitely monitor that situation. It's thrown up here inside 50 for Old Ivanhoe. 23 and a half gone with the stoppage in play. We expect this quarter to go a little bit longer. That's a high ball, and we'll go out on the full.
Billy Murphy's been thrown forward here to try and break the tag, so just keep an eye on him.
Well, it is going forward here now, but it's at the back of the pack. 2 hands on it. Couldn't hold on. Here's an opportunity. Takes him on and sprays it. Did all the hard work there. Did Charlie Naish and almost Ben McKight, or Harry McKight, should I say, against North a couple of years ago. Just hit the wrong side of the boot. And bit of a reprieve for Old Geelong. And taking it out is Scott Dixon, who'll be very close in the vote getters so far today, albeit Tom Gorell's got 4. They've only kicked 6. It'll be pretty hard to go past him. They've only got the 2 goal scorers, so Tom Gorell's got 4, and Connor Dixon kicked 2 in about 22 seconds. Outside of that, no one else is just wait for a decision here.
Deliberate.
Deliberate.
I noticed that old Ivanhoe have made the change, so Nick Rees-Smythe started on Gorell and did quite a good job on him, but they've put Jacob Agrotis onto Gorell, which will allow Nick to kind of sit off him.
Well, they go inside 50. That's a really early fly, and unfortunately a silly one there from Charlie Nation. Just allows old Geelong to get some possession here. Done well this quarter. It was 19 points at halftime. And you talked about it a few minutes ago, Jared, is that next goal when it was around sort of 12 or 13 points where you're like, okay, if you stretch it back out or, you know, you've only kicked X amount of goals for the game, you've got to kick a certain amount to get something rolling, and they certainly have, old Geelong. They've been up for the challenges. Gets to the back here, and there is not much forward. It's one-on-one. You talked about the battle before. Gorell's on the end of it. Does pretty well. Does Jacob Agrotis. Gorell follows up. Handballs it forward. Running forward is Nichols. Off the deck. You're kidding. What a goal. And old Geelong hit the front for the first time today. Off the deck. Soccer style there. And old Geelong hit the front. 7-10-52. Plays 7-9-51, 25 and a half gone. Some finish there, Jared.
Yeah, it was outstanding, and it was again Tom Gorell. It was a fantastic one-on-one contest between Jacob and Tom, and Tom was the one who was able to recover quickest and fed out the handball to Mickey Nichols, who ran really hard and lost his man. And at some point, I think old Ivanhoe need to work out. They're pressing very high up the ground with a lot of space behind them, and maybe a change of tactics might be required because their forwards are looking, really, really dangerous.
So back in the middle, old Geelong lead for the first time today. If you've just joined us, they've just completely flipped the script. As it's going to be holding the ball. They do take the advantage, and they go laterally. I just feel like this quarter they haven't been able to go corridor, old Ivanhoe, as much as they were able to in the first half. They've shut that down really well, the old Geelong coaching staff. Clearly a clear point of emphasis at half-time. It was a draw against these two last time. It's living up to it at the moment. Intercept mark taken at half back for old Geelong. Goes for a switch. Risky, 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 risky. Very risky. Could have been holding. Good decision, in my opinion, to not go with it. And they're able to clean up that mess. They just nearly self-inflicted there, that one, Jared.
Ball just hung in the air, but it was really well recovered by Horse. And now Connor Dixon again, he's been really important for them.
Long down the line here now. Big flyers across the board. Who can win this ball here? Close to the boundary line and very smartly takes it over. 27 minutes gone. We did have a stoppage for an injury and a blood rule, so we do expect it to go a bit further. As just looking down here at the injured player, might be a wrist even. Some sort of right arm injury. We've got the old painkillers out. That's a good pick up here now, and they just get it forward. They need to try and get it to hit the deck. That's a courageous mark. Going back with the flight, Lockie Allen.
Been impressed with him as well. He's done some fantastic things behind the footy.
Bit of a helicopter type of ball, and well, it's spilled. Nice tackle pressure here. Murphy, nice handball. Can they get one here, old Ivanhoe? Kick going inside 50. It's going over the intended target. Did well the first game to get a touch to it. Kept it in, though. Nagel sidesteps. They've called it out. I don't know, Jared, you had better eyes on that. Was that out?
Oh, it was a 50-50, I reckon, and Ray McKenzie was about to kick his fourth, but instead we get a forward stoppage. But here we've got McKenzie, Tyson Nagel, Billy Murphy, Tom McKenzie all zipping around, so it's a pretty dangerous time for Geelong.
Must have just got outside the field of play. It didn't look like much. And they get one back here, old Ivanhoe. Nice tackle there. And no goalkeeper here. Just noticed. Just quick snap. All it takes is a errant bounce. Looks like Nagel going forward here now from this contest. Done a good job with the hit out so far today, old Geelong. Quick snap. That one there. Just didn't get the purchase on it. And we'll kick it out in the full. So it remains a 1-point lead for old Geelong. They'll be in no hurry. They'll be very happy to go into three-quarter time with a lead. Old Ivanhoe have led from the opening contest up until about the 21-minute mark of this quarter.
Just noticed Lockie Dunnell starting to have a bit of an impact on the game as well. He's playing on young Jasper Hopkins, who's battled hard, but he's having a big impact here, and he's long down the line here.
Goes with that long kick, and there's, well, all three Geelong players there flew and probably spoiled each other. And they'll be very happy to get a stoppage here, and they will. 29 minutes gone. It's been a high-scoring quarter compared to what we saw earlier, and a couple of stoppages. So there's still time left in this quarter, you would think. Tapped down by Dunnell, who's won the ruck contest today, in my opinion. He's just a little bit more size and experience compared to slightly undersized old Ivanhoe side, as you said pre-game, Jared.
Yeah, he's a big, strong boy. He's had a great year, Lockie.
Tap down here again. 60 from home. Goes backwards. McKenzie it was. Got decked afterwards, and it will be. Is it going to be downfield? It will be. I'm just waiting to see who's got it. It was Naish, who's going to have a few bruises today, it's fair to be said. Yeah. And William Murphy's got it here now. Too far out to score, you would say, given conditions. Although we did see the first game of Lockley Millam kick one probably from about 5 metres closer.
Yeah, he's got the tendency to maybe take him on here. That's another thing up Bill's trick bag, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him try that.
Well, he's an exciting player. He's kicked 1 goal so far today. Does he try that? Gets close to the man on the mark. That one's just going to go to the top of the goal square. Can somebody fly? Like backwards here, old Geelong. They just want to clear it. He got tackled as he kicked it. Can someone mark it? 2 hands to it. Couldn't hold on that time was Reed. Still chasing after it, old Geelong. Brave in defence. Chasing after it. And it'll be a whistle. Well done, old Geelong there to get out of danger. They'll be very happy to hear this siren, which can't be long left here in this quarter. Set for a grandstand finish here to end the Premier B showcase round. It's the last game. Tune in here on your mega wall. You'll be wanting to watch this one here. Huge implications given other results today with Williamstown winning. A loss for Old Ivanhoe, and they could see themselves on the bottom of the ladder. With only a few games left for Old Geelong, a win. Oh, they're still in the finals hunt, especially with the likes of Old Camberwell, who are sitting in 4th. Their percentage is not going to be any good when they're only scoring 25 points against collegians.
Geelong have just dropped at least 1, maybe 2 players behind the footy here. I think they'd be really happy to go in just the 1 point up at 3/4 time. Wouldn't want to see a goal kicked from Old Ivanhoe.
Well, there's been 2 real goals late in the opening 2 quarters, and both have been by Old Geelong. So one after the siren in the second quarter, which just changed momentum, 100-metre penalty after a trip. And then they got their only goal of the first quarter pretty much with about 30 seconds to go. So can they pinch another one here? Ball going forward here now. And there is that siren. What a great quarter of footy. Old Geelong got that one going. They lead by a point. 31 and a half minutes that quarter. Abercrombie's scoreboard. They're proudly supporting the Old Geelong Football Club since 2019. We're in for a grandstand finish here now. It's clouding over. It's great footy here to watch in the Premier Bs. We're going to take a break here for 3/4 time. I'd get my special comments man to go listen to a huddle, but we get in trouble. So I'm not going to say anything about that. But we'll wait and have a couple of minutes off. And then what is a huge last quarter with big ramifications for both these teams' seasons. 1 point in the margin. Don't go anywhere. We're back in a few short minutes. Welcome back. Welcome back to VAFA TV Premier Bees Showcase Round. All 5 Premier Bees games live and free this afternoon thanks to VAFA TV. And where else would you rather be here now? It is a must-win game for both these teams. Old Geelong need to win to stay in the finals hunt. A loss and they're still in the relegation battle. Well, Old Ivanhoe, with other results so far today, they could be last on the table given Williamstown's upset win in the Premier Bees, and they'll trail by a point as it stands at the moment. 7-10-52 to 7-9-51. The last time these two teams played, it was a draw. Came down to a kick on the siren. That was a metre short. Can we be set for another grandstand finish here? My name is Jordan Mole, and I can't wait to bring you this last quarter of action. Alongside me here is Old Ivanhoe Premiership player and coach, Jared Geishan. Great to be with you for this last quarter, mate.
Yeah, the script's written. I think before the game we spoke about these two teams and how many close games they've played. It's not the only game earlier this year where the score's been or the game's been decided with a kick after the game. So I expect it to be very close. I noticed that Old Geelong looked to have dropped the tag on Billy Murphy. He may have a real impact. Have a look at that.
So Old Geelong in this quarter going to the left of screen and Old Ivanhoe to the right as the first clearance is going the way of Old Geelong. Out in front of us here now on the broadcast side. Bounce of the Sharon goes over everybody. Chasing after it here now is the Old Ivanhoe defenders. Able to do well. Exit D50. A lot of air on this kick. It invites the pressure. And the man, Scott Dixon, who is close to best on. It's either him or Tom Gorell, who's kicked 4 brilliant goals. Dixon takes it. Goes inside 50. Gets to the back of the pack. And Gorell was nearly there. That would have been for number 5 if he just got a mid on that one. But it's going to be a forward 50 stoppage here for Old Geelong.
Big spoil by Nick Reeves-Smythe. He's been really important for Old Ivanhoe as well. But, yeah, not the right option there to kick to a smaller player. And Dixon just been all day taking those intercept marks.
So thrown back in here now. Sort of whacked forward, but first of the footy here is Old Geelong. On that left foot, just kicks it to the hot spot. Whacked away again. Well done that time by Reeves-Smythe, who in the first half was really good. I've sort of done a better job on not kicking it to him, as simple as it sounds in that third quarter, and probably why they were able to pile on 5 goals in that quarter.
No, 100%. You can see that Jacob Agrotis has gone to Tom Gorell, which has freed up Nick Reeves-Smythe, and twice he's been able to leave his man and impact the contest.
Well, he's a spare inside here, but it's too close for him to really make an impact aerially. Is that holding the ball? Umpire goes, it's a ball up, no prior. Good decision.
Old Geelong have got Lockie Donnell just sitting behind the footy.
So we go again. Able to clear the immediate danger is Harrison Reid, who's been very good today, but that's a better mark. There that time. Lockie Allen goes short. Over the top. Is that chopping the arms? Umpire says no. Ball about 45 from home. Good run through there that time by Green. Wasn't able to follow up. Good tackle by Nagel. And the ball will be thrown up right inside 50 here. Right on the 50-metre arc. Played 2 minutes here. Old Geelong have controlled territory for this second half. Down as much as 25 points at one stage. They've wrestled their way back to lead by a point here now. And here's an opportunity. Left-footed snap. Looks good. Looks very good, and it's through. Tom Ball kicks it. It's just slithering it through. And that is a huge goal to start this last quarter. 8-10-58. Plays 7-9-51. And we've talked about it the whole game. Do you have that goalkeeper on the line? They didn't have one there, Jared, and that would have just snickered through.
No, absolutely, and the wing kind of got a hold of it. But Tom Ball, he's had the job on Paddy Nash all day, and just was able to get on the end of that one. And you can see some of the Geelong boys ran straight to Paddy and remonstrated, whereas a lot of his teammates ran and gave him a pat on the head. It's been a very spirited game, and who knows what's next. The first 3 minutes of this quarter has been fantastic.
Just getting on top of them in the clearance battle. At the moment, Old Geelong been the ruck battle, which has been fascinating. And it's going to be a late whistle. Free kick going the way of Old Geelong. Connor Dixon, who kicked 2 in 20 seconds. Kicked one to end the second half after the siren, and then kicked one 20 seconds into the third quarter. Breaking records here. That gets to the back. It's just going to sit for him. Goes over his head and kicks it. Party tricks here at the moment. And Michael Nichols has kicked his second. And his 27th goal on the year. Had more time than he needed to, but went, you know what, I'm going to do the Brendan Favola and kick it over my head.
Yeah, certainly one for the highlight reel. But as you said, Old Geelong getting on top at stoppage. And And in that instance, Gorell was the target for the midfielder that kicked it through, but like it's been doing all day, carried over the top. Nick Reeve-Smythe stayed back as he has done all day, and Mickey Nichols was able to press up and take the footy and kick the goal over his head uncontested. So really important passage of play now for old Ivanhoe, this centre clearance.
So it is all old Geelong here at the moment. They've kicked the 2 goals to start this quarter, and old Ivanhoe, they haven't had anything going forward. Can they get something here now? Ball about 40 metres out here for them. Handball over the shoulder was no look. Did he dispose of that legally? Umpire said yes. Murphy goes back here to Reed. Can he find a target inside 50? It's a floater. No whistle. Good decision. Going after it there that time was McKenzie. Handball's back. The wind is blowing here, and it comes back this time to Reed, who drops it. I'll look down to see who it was, and he dropped the sitter, and unfortunately it's just add more pressure on old Ivanhoe. Just those 1%ers that are catching up on them at the moment.
Yeah, well, there's 2 or 3 of them that could have marked that footy, but unfortunately it's turned into a turnover, and Geelong have got the footy back in their hands.
So 9-10-64 to 7-9-51. 5 minutes gone here in this last quarter on the Ultra Cold scoreboard here at Home Park. Need to switch the angle, and they do. Mark taken. Nash didn't know. I don't reckon he knew Gorell was there, so did well not to play on. Goes out wide to the near side wing. Plenty of contact on the contest. Umpire said it was legal. Inside handball, and there'll be a ball up here right in the true centre wing position. 13 points the margin. If you've just joined us, old Ivanhoe kicked 6 goals in that opening half, and led 6 goals to 2 it was at half time, and that's just a whack it as far as I can, Durrell. And the Sharon bounce is not kind to anybody. Just able to keep it in his Murphy. That kick, not the required journey, but it was paid anyway. He's going to keep it running. He's an exciting player, is William Murphy. Keeps things going. That kick here now. Gets to the back of the pack. Ball just trickling towards that boundary line. Was he tackled without it? Umpire said no. Is that a high tackle as well? Umpire says no. Good decisions on both. And we'll get a stoppage here now.
The hardness around the footy and the pressure from both teams has been absolutely outstanding in this first 6 minutes. So both teams know their seasons are on the line, that's for sure.
They've kicked 8 out of the last 9 goals, old Geelong. The only goal in this second half coming the way of Lockie Millam, who, 2 goals, sorry, Lockie Millam, and it was also Rowan McKenzie. So 2 goals, should I say. Just 2 goals in the second half. Old Geelong have been able to put the foot to the throat a little bit, and here's an opportunity for them. It's 1-on-1 inside 50. It's a great-looking kick. It might not be needed, but Tommy Gorell takes a mark just outside the goal square, and he's going to have an opportunity to land a bag here on him, and it'll be for number 5. And it'll be 5 goals, 3 as well. He's had 8 shots on goal, and this to make it very hard for old Ivanhoe.
Yeah, it was Mickey Nichols again. I think he's had a real impact. Either he's kicked them himself or set them up, and he went to come off the ground, and the coaching staff said, no, stay out there. You're the one that's changing the game. So between Gorell and Nichols this quarter, they've been dominant.
And Gorell makes no mistake. He has 5. He's got 56 on the season. Coming into today, he was 15 clear at the top of the leading goal kickers. And I dare say he's going to expand upon that margin. There's still a lot of time left, but it's going to be an almighty comeback from here. 10-10-70 plays 7-9-51. Just been a tale of 2 halves, really. And if you haven't been with us for the whole time here at Como Park, the part where this game changed, 5 seconds left in the second quarter, a tripping free kick is given in the middle of the ground, and then old Ivanhoe give up a 100-metre penalty. Geelong get a goal just before half-time, and it just completely changed the momentum. From that stage, you give up the tripping, but you look at it and go, you cannot give up a 100-metre penalty, Jared.
Yeah, 100%. They went into half-time with a bit more momentum than they should have, and they haven't really lost it in this second half.
So Nagel here right in front of us. Did it come off a boot? In fact, it's going to be a high tackle. So Nagel's got it on St Kilda's VFL list. Showed some sparks here today. Goes down the line. Numbers with old Geelong, which we've said a lot throughout proceedings as the ball trickles out in front of us here. And it's just all old Geelong here at the moment. Just need some type of a spark. If old Ivanhoe are going to get something going here, you've got to look at William Murphy. Can he have a little bit of inspiring play? They've done a decent job on him, and he's chasing after this ball. He just popped up, as you said. He handballs it forward, just trying to do everything. He's going to get a free kick as well. Is he the one just to get it going? Might not be on the end of one, but can he set one up? He goes down the line, going forward. That one there's got Old Geelong written all over it, and that's a great mark taken by Charlie Monfils. So those kicks inside 50 throughout the game from either side haven't been great, but one of them's got Tommy Gorell. Old Ivanhoe just don't have that tall marking threat so far today, Jared.
No, 100%. I can see Mal Mitras, who's been a legend of Old Ivanhoe Footy Club for a long time, key forward, sitting on the bench and really forward of the ball, Old Ivanhoe. They've got the young first gamer there in Midland, but apart from that, it's all small forwards, so they've got to come in. You're better off maybe even kicking the footy along the ground and giving the small forwards a chance than just bombing in the air.
Do I suggest put a Reeve Smythe, move the Magnets, put him forward to at least have a marking threat because they're getting their hands on the ball.
Yeah, it's not the silliest idea. I think they should try something maybe a little bit different.
Oh, marked at centre half forward. Here's an opportunity. Tom McKenzie lines it up. Just didn't look like it was ever going to go through the big sticks and misses to the left. So it's back to 3 goals exactly. 10-10-70, plays 7-10-52. They've got to lock it down this end. 10 minutes gone here in the last quarter on the Archie Cloud scoreboard. It's been a great day of footy. That one there did bounce, caught it on the half volley, so just invited a bit of pressure. But they're able to thump it out of there with relative ease. Good mark taken, and they're going to play quick. This is how they got their lead in the first place. There's just numbers aplenty, and there's just no way in the world anyone's going to take a mark there when they've got that many tall defenders back. Yeah,
that's another example of just probably bombing the ball rather than lowering the eyes and trying to hit one of those small forwards.
No, again, Old Geelong trying to get it out of D50. One hand to it, but couldn't hold on. Was Graham. And that'll be another holding the ball. Love to see a stat of those in the second half. The tackling pressure of Old Geelong. They'd probably the first to admit in the first half. Pressure-wise, they let Old Ivanhoe have a bit more perceived pressure than they thought. But since then, they've really flipped the switch and they're tackling pressure. They'd have at least 7 or 8 holding the ball free kicks here in this second half alone. And it goes down the line. Big fly from behind. Wasn't able to get 2 hands on it, but win it at the source. That'll be holding the ball. Old Ivanhoe, they've got to go. They've got to take some risks here at the moment. It's not season on the line. There's still rounds left, but it's pretty close to it at the moment. They've coughed it up. Handball over the top. Able to shrug the tackle brilliantly was Matt Harvey. Able to get an opportunity for them. They decide to keep going. Short kick. Mark taken. Should hold. And they will. And it's Michael Nichols who's kicked 2 already. And an opportunity for his third and to pretty much slam the door on any hopes for Old Ivanhoe in this last term.
Yeah, it was the pressure around the footy where Old Geelong was able to get on top again there. But forward of the ball, I don't know how he's on his own, Mickey Nichols. He's really dangerous player for them, but he took that mark uncontested.
2 goals today thus far. 25 out, slight angle, and he makes no mistakes. That would have been good from 60. He stumped that, and it's landed in the bins out the back of the club rooms here. That is some way to kick a footy. And they lead by 4 goals. His third. Old Geelong completely outplayed in the first half. And whatever was said at halftime has just completely flipped the switch. And they lead by 4 goals.
Yeah, I don't know what was said at halftime because I've been banned from their huddle for the day, but I'm sure that they inspired the team. And finally, Mickey Nichols comes to the bench. I think a few times he came to come off, but 12 minutes in, he's kicked a couple and set up a couple more, and he's come to the bench full of energy. He's done it a lot of times for Old Geelong, Mickey Nichols, and he's been a great player for them. He's really helped change the game with Tom Gorell.
Well, coming into today, he was 7th in the goal-kicking comp. Now, he's kicked 3 today, so you'd reckon he'd be moving up slightly, but good luck catching Tommy Gorell, who's kicked 5 today. He's got 56 goals on the season. And good luck catching that. Back here in the middle. And he's one that hasn't stopped trying all day. William Murphy, been really impressed with his game. And they keep on running here, Old Ivanhoe. They kick inside 50. Probably their first mark inside 50 for a very long time, albeit probably too far out to score. He goes with the right boot, right to the teeth of goal. And that one just too deep of an entry and easily thumped through.
I see they've thrown Paddy Nash to full forward, and that's not a bad idea either. He's always capable of stepping up and doing something special, so maybe he's the one that can get Old Ivanhoe back into it.
That one there, able to exit it very easily. And you've just seen the first half, Old Ivanhoe were really able to pin Old Geelong inside their D50 for long periods of time. They weren't able to exit. And whatever got changed at halftime tactically, it's completely flipped because you look at it and Old Geelong have, for a majority of this second half, been a little inaccurate at times, and they've just kept it in their forward half. The territory game has surely been won, as that's a good spoil coming in from the side there from Angus Watson. And it will be thrown in here just in the forward half here for Old Ivanhoe. They're 23 points down. And my calculations are correct. Given Williamstown's win today, they will find themselves, unfortunately, on the bottom of the table. Only a few rounds left. And the old relegation battle. And unless something extraordinary happens here with about half a quarter to go, Old Geelong is still in the premiership, in the finals hunt, I should say. So they are still in the premiership hunt. Good mark taken at halfback. Goes for a trot. Goes with a risky kick across D50. Mark's taken, and he allowed him to sort of run corridor. Runs his full measure there that time. And goes long. Good spoil from behind that stopped the mark was Glidden. Kicked the goal earlier today off a 6-step run-up from 50, but hasn't really been sighted too many times otherwise. Here he is there. Got one hand to it, but couldn't quite hold on. And the big ruckman kicks it out wide, Dunnell, and that's just a perfect kick. And mark taken by Ted Middleton right on centre wing. Risky kick corridor. They've got to use these now. These turnovers, they haven't done it much, Old Geelong. You've got to make them pay, Old Ivanhoe. And a lot to go right from here. That's another risky kick in the middle. Nagel, handball over the top. How's that sit? Good if you're an Old Geelong fan. Bit of a mongrel kick, but it's worked so far. He just wanted that more than anyone, Sloss, but left it behind. Does well to evade the tackle there, does Murphy. There's just no even half a second to breathe here at the moment. Slips, in trouble. Umpire lets him go. Here's an opportunity. Can they close the door? Harvey, 38 disposals he's averaging, but that's his most important. Pushes it out to a game-high 29 points. What a star he is. His 10th goal on the season. Did not let them breathe. And eventually when the turnover came, they made them pay. Well done there, Matt Harvey, to finish that one. 12-10-82, plays 7-11-53, 16 minutes gone, I should say, in this last quarter. And Old Geelong have slammed the door here, Jared.
Yeah, the pressure was outstanding. I think Billy Murphy evaded 1, 2, maybe 3 tackles, and he was a bit of a lone soldier there, and eventually the dam wall broke, and Matt Harvey hasn't had too many opportunities to get uncontested footy with the job Harry Reid's done, but showed his class there to pretty much put the game away, I think, with about 15 minutes to go.
So it's just completely flipped from that 100-metre penalty right on the halftime siren. Love to see the stats prior to that, and then afterwards just from a clearance, a tackle, even just smothers and deflections. They've done an awesome job of that, and intercept marks inside D50. And this man would have at least a dozen in Scott Dixon. He's been here, there and everywhere today. Just been a rock down in defence for them. Old Geelong have it now over on that far side. And they'll be very happy to just go through their work here now and don't take any risk, although they'll like to keep running. Kick inside 50 here now. There's Gorell's at the back of the pack by himself. Is the Sharon going to go out of bounds before they can do that? It does stay in. Just evaded about 3 or 4 tackles and ran out of bounds, but will be a boundary throw-in. They have got a few, haven't used it amazingly at times, but Gorell's been out the back on his own a few times today, Jared.
Yeah, Old Ivanhoe's pressing up high, and it's probably, it's a big risk to be taking, and it worked really well in that first, quarter and a half, but it's given Geelong the opportunity to kick a few easy goals, close to goal as well. It's a risk that you take.
So just taking out the ruck, and here's Nagel. Again, doesn't have a second to breathe, and tackles straight away. Will be a ball up. 18 minutes gone here in this last quarter. Whack down here now, and that doesn't look like that's going anywhere in a hurry, and we'll repeat with that one. So the goal scorers so far for Old Geelong, Gorell has 5, Connor Dixon has 2, Michael Nichols with 3, Tom Ball with a single, and Matt Harvey with a single as well a few moments ago, which put the dagger in the hearts, you should say. Again, not coming out in a hurry. The goal scorers for Old Ivanhoe, just the 7 goals, and just the 2 in the second half. Rowan McKenzie has 3, Blake Glidden with 1, William Murphy with 1, the first gamer. Lockie Millen with 1, and Charlie Naish with 1 as well. As it's a holding the ball, and they're Off and running here, Old Ivanhoe. Need a lot to go right here now. Kick inside 50. That was great with his body work. Just couldn't quite keep his feet. Did Rowan McKenzie. And Old Geelong were able to mop up with relative ease. And again, they go to that man Dixon. I'll definitely be looking up his stats on Premier Data after this game because he'd have close to 20-odd marks. I reckon 13 of them would be intercept, and he'd be close to 30-odd touches as well. He's had a complete game. He's out on this centre wing, right in front of us here at Como Park. It's been a great day here in the Premier B Showcase round. Thank you to My Sport Live for setting up all the streaming across the VAFA today. Goes down the line, and Reeve Smythe, who's tried hard all day, just thumps it out of bounds. And we'll get a stoppage here. Just shy of 20 minutes gone in this final quarter.
Yeah, it was another good spoil by Nick Reeve Smythe, but you're certainly right about Scott Dixon. And I know that he doesn't play every week, but when he does, Geelong normally lift a gear, and he's been outstanding.
So thrown back in here now. There'll be a late whistle for a high coming back. Be James Adams, I believe, who will have the free. Yes, it will. Where's Gorell? And they're looking for him here. Unfortunately, it's just a metre short of him. He's got 5. Might be on Tommy Gorell watch to get 6 as cramps sort of setting into a few players around the ground. Connor Dixon, the old left calf, just gone on him a little bit. Boundary umpire throws it in here. It's been a windy day at Como Park. Adams follows up. Very happy just to get another stoppage. Done this very well, Old Geelong, the last few minutes. Still looking to run, but just taking any unnecessary risk out of the game. And killed any chances for Old Ivanhoe. That must be a free kick. We're coming back. James Chabot with the free here at half-back for Old Ivanhoe. Goes to Murphy. Goes down the line. Mark taken right in front of us here by Jack Bradley. He goes down the line. And then Dixon just running in there with ferocity. And that's an unlucky bounce. And no one touched it. So it will be a lasso. So things just going Old Geelong's way here at the moment. No. Definitely look back at this one, Old Ivanhoe, and the margin might not tell the full story, but that first half, they looked pretty good. They just couldn't do it for longer periods of time. That's a good mark there from Jacob Agrotis. And it's just a bit inaccurate kicking. It says 7-11, and yes, it's been a tough day to kick, but there's a few opportunities that you need to take when you've got an advantage to put something meaningful on the scoreboard. As they're inside 50 again here. First to pick it up there, that time was Reed. Right-footed snap. Can they get one late here? Misses to the left. 12-10-82 to now 7-12-54. 28 points the margin. 22 minutes gone here in the last quarter.
I think Geelong will be happy just to suck the life out of the game now. Don't be surprised to see them just chip the ball around, go short, and just try to kill the game. Whereas Old Ivanhoe keep rolling the dice. That was a brilliant intercept mark by Jacob Agrotis and a good offensive play on the far side. But maybe our time is running out.
A booming kick out of full-back on the Old Geelong defence. It's both hands on it. They go the man in front rule, but will be a ball up. At 65 from home from Old Ivanhoe. That's a serious jump there by Hopkins. As he just keeps it inside the field of play, does Murphy, and nearly it landed. In fact, it did land in the lap of McKenzie. Went to play on and then realised it was a bit sore and stopped. But it's been this next kick which has let them down. That one there, the hot spot. 2 hands to it. Mark. Lucas Agrotis. He needs to go back quickly just to give him a silly sniff. 25 out directly in front for Lucas Agrotis. Both Agrotis boys done well so far today. One in defence and he's had a few opportunities. Had one in the first quarter. Just to give him a little secret sniff. There's still a chance, albeit a long shot one. But that one's through. Well done there to Lucas Agrotis. His 11th goal in his 8th game this season. That one there, we haven't really seen too many marks, contested marks, I should say, inside 50 for Old Ivanhoe. That's one of the first ones, Jared.
Yeah, and look, it was the kick by Rowan McKenzie that actually kicked it to the advantage of Lucas, rather than kind of bombing away and giving Geelong tall defenders a chance to read the play. So it was a fantastic mark and finish. And let's just see, if Old Ivanhoe get a centre clearance here, you never know.
Yeah, you need to get some goals on the run here. Out of the middle, if they're ever going to get one, this is the time. Thrown up here now. And it's that man who's been trying all day in Murphy. He's covering his K's here now. He's gone very lateral. That one, not the required journey the umpire deemed. That kick there now, it's just been that connection kick, which they haven't had. Ball deflected and good tackle pressure. And it will be a ball up. Feel that one there. I know we've talked about the forward entries, but you don't really have time to muck around with a 12-metre kick. Rather just kick a torp on the run and hope for the best.
That's it. Get it in there, give them the forwards a chance.
So thrown up again on that far side. 22 points the margin. It's been a great game of footy. They were away, but it went out of bounds. Old Ivanhoe led at quarter time and half time. Old Geelong led by a point. It was 52-51 at three-quarter time. And since then, they've just put the foot on the throat. It was a must-win game for them, as we spoke about with their president at half-time. And thank you to both clubs that they were able to join us for a good 5-minute or so chat at their upcoming club functions and some on-field stuff, some off-field stuff. We thank them very much for that, and it's always good to talk to the volunteers that keep those clubs running here on VAFA TV, especially here in the Premier Bees, which is not always on the broadcast every week with the callers, so it's great to hear from them. And they'll be very happy, the old Geelong boys, as we've ticked over 25 minutes here in this last quarter. As there'll be a block, free kick going the way of old Geelong. Goes with a kick over the top, and they'll be very happy just to take the sting out of it. I think both teams are content with hearing the siren in the near future. As whistled, it's going to be 50, I believe.
It is, yeah.
It's going to be 50, so much to the objection the old Ivanhoe players, but just wait and see who's actually on the end of it. We saw a costly 100-metre penalty just before half-time, which completely turned the game, and now old Geelong get another 50-metre penalty and a chance to put the icing on a very rich cake here, Jared.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's Charlie Moffees, is it, or is it
Cooper Hayes?
Cooper Hayes,
is.
okay.
4 goals in 8 games so far this season, averaging 23.4 disposals. And the wind just picked up right on cue. It's been just sort of swirling around here, Como Park. And a chance to close the door here and put the icing on the cake. That one there, drifting. A minor score. So 12-11, 83 plays 8, 12-60 here on the Archicald scoreboard here at Como Park.
The lights have held up well, haven't they?
They have. I was a little bit worried when and there'll be I was waiting for another 50, but they said get out of the way. No, we're going to come back again. When it was the 2:45 on air, I was like, geez, no rain, which was good, but if it had been rain a little bit, we might have been squinting to try and see the ball. But no, it's held up really well as old Ivanhoe able to get it to half-forward flank here and another smother. Great job from old Geelong. They've done that all day. It was Hayes with that smother. Kick inside 50, just a little bit too shallow and low for the key forward. They're still chasing after it. You can't question their heart, old Ivanhoe. It's just been those little moments they haven't won here in this second half. And here come old Geelong through the middle of the ground. Here's an opportunity. He's kicked 5 so far today. He is all by himself.
Oh, great smother.
Reeve Smythe, he stops a certain goal because Gurrell was all by himself. Literally, he could have just got all the land inside 50 there and sold a house for how much room that he had there. And he's still by himself, by the way.
Yeah, it was Nick Reeve Smythe, his direct opponent. He was 50 metres off him, but impacted play, and I guess that's what he does, and he done well. But Gurrell's on his own here.
Here's an opportunity. They look for him. It lands in the mud pit. He picks it up. He loses it. He soccers it forward. He's chasing after it. He's determined. Right-footed banana, unless it has an unbelievable bounce. But it's going to be a goal assist regardless. Handball. They're sharing it around, and William Sloss finishes it off. 13-11-89, plays 8-12-60. It wasn't 6 for Tom Gorell, but he set up one there. And that is the way to do it. Old Geelong, they've been clinical here in this second half. I'll be the first to admit their first half was not up to the standard that they set, but they were able to ride the momentum and kick 11 goals in this second half to Old Ivanhoe's 2.
Yeah, no, credit to them. Their midfield's really lifted in their contest around the footy, but I can absolutely guarantee then Tommy Gorell wasn't passing that. He was going for his 6th goal, got the check side going, but it was Mickey Nichols again that ran onto it and did a Sam Draper, gave the handball to Sloss, and very unselfish, could have kicked his 4th.
So back here in the middle. Great team play from Old Geelong. And they still have their finals hopes alive. If they had lost today, it was pretty much over. And they were in a relegation battle. That was the old 8-pointer, as they say. Could have flipped either way. And they had to step up. They were challenged here today by Old Ivanhoe. It's always a spirited contest. And they've been able to ride the waves. And they're not done yet, perhaps. Handball, Sloth. He just kicked one. He's going to give it up. Here's a chance. Number 6. It's going to sit for him. Yes, it is. Tommy Gorell has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And has 57 on the season. And there's a bit of afters, which is probably sums up what the game's been played. It's been pretty high-spirited. I hope there's nothing silly in there. They are still going, but it's taking nothing away from Tommy Gorell. As it's still going here. A bit of a shame, if I'm being honest. There's obviously been a lot in it. There's a lot in these two sides. There's could easily pin out about 15 different free kicks here, and they actually just need to get it back to the middle and throw it up straight away to stop it before anyone does anything dumb.
Yeah, 100%. A bit late for all of that now, really.
They're in the middle. High free kick going the way of Old Ivanhoe as it's dispersed. Last thing you want to do is get yourself rubbed out doing something silly. Old Ivanhoe, you've got to win some late. As there's another intercept mark from Scott Dixon. Get your record books out. He would have close to 15 intercept marks.
He's been outstanding.
So at half back here now, just waiting for the timekeeper to push that final siren in what has been a inspirational win by Old Geelong. They were challenged in the first half, and they've just come out here in this second half and completely flipped the script, and in the last quarter done well. Can they get a consolation goal late? They can. Well done, Tiger Nagel, to finish that one off with the right foot of banana. A consolation goal for them. His 2nd on the season. And he gets it back now to a 29-point margin as we've ticked over 31 minutes here in this free-flowing last quarter.
Yeah, got to be close to the final siren now. You can see the Geelong boys are starting to pull some of their players off and celebrate on the bench here. They think they've done enough, and I certainly think they have as well. Can't be long to go now in this game.
So back here in the middle, 29 points the margin. And unfortunately for Old Ivanhoe, the winless streak continues 6 straight. They're only on one of their last 9 now. As they're now going to be sitting on the bottom of the table after an upset win from Williamstown over De La Salle earlier today. And some other results means Old Geelong are not far off the top 4 races. Gorell's almost coming through again. They nearly poleaxed each other like there was a tie ball game, and they're going for it even when it's 29-point margin. So coach, you sit back and go, boys, just relax. No injuries here. Just
100%.
crikey.
Yeah, but geez, it was a great contest between Archie Franklin and Jacob Jess up on the half-forward flank. And Archie and they banged into each other. Jacob got the ball, and I thought, here we go, right in Tommy Gorell's path. But Connor Dixon was too courageous and got in his way.
Can't be long left. You just give the siren bloke a $10 note and say, head it and start going home, boys, because the margin and the result has been decided for some time. It comes back here now, and there is that siren we've been waiting for. And a huge win for Old Geelong in the complexion of their season. 14-11-95, Old Ivanhoe, 9-12-66. 29-point winners. A dominant second half where they kicked 12 goals, and Old Ivanhoe only managed the 3. Great game of football. It was highly spirited, and you just feel Old Geelong just handled those waves and momentum better than Old Ivanhoe.
Yeah, look, they really did, and it was a combination of a couple of things. One, their contest, as you said, in the second half around the footy, their tackling pressure, their willingness to kind of get in first and win first possession certainly energised them, but then it was also their forwards that got going. So Tommy Gorell and Mickey Nichols in particular really got set alight in that second half, and every time Old Ivanhoe had an opportunity to get the footy forward, it was that man, Scott Dixon, sitting behind the footy, with Will Horsfall controlling the ball. So it really was a dominant second half by Geelong, and they'd be thrilled with that because they're now back in the mix and a chance to play finals footy, which is what it's all about.
Certainly right. Well, the post-game show brought to you by Brenta Meats. As we said there, it was the Tommy Gorell show. 6 goals to finish those ones there. And, well, the goal of the day is brought to you by Abercrombie's, proudly supporting the Geelong Football Club since 2019. There was a couple of contenders. Tommy Gorell, one of them, on the far side, kicked it off a step from 50. The other one I really liked was Rowan McKenzie, the left-footed running snap here on the near side. I'll leave it here to my expert commentator to decide that one, who the goal of the day, thanks to Abercrombie.
You know what, the other one I liked was the young fella, Lockie Midland, kicking his first goal.
Yes.
But I am going to give it to a guy just because he had a really big impact in the second half. He was under no pressure, but he decided to bring some party tricks out for us, and it was Mickey Nichols, the kick over the top of his head, which really was probably the goal that gave Geelong that momentum to kick clear. So we'll give Mickey the goal of the day with that one.
Yes, completely agree. He had a lot more time than he needed to there, just quietly, but decided to have the party tricks. And then the mark of the day, thanks to the Terminus Hotel in North Fitzroy. Well, I reckon it was the one that we saw 5 seconds into the game. I believe it was Tommy Ball, who just went back with the flight 5 seconds in. He obviously had a good warm-up and took that one. There were some other good ones. Jacob Agrotis had a 3-on-1 where he went and marked one in front of us. But for me, I think Tommy Ball's got to win that one there.
I reckon that's fair, and it probably, we said it was a great mark. I was really impressed, but as the game went on, it probably solidified just how good a mark it was, because we didn't see too many others read the ball in the air the way that he did. Unfortunately, we couldn't find one for Scott Dixon. He took 20, but
yes, none of them are good
but
enough.
not the mark of the day. Sorry, Scott.
No, he just took plenty of marks, just not mark of the day. But yes, that is going to do us here from Como Park. A big thank you as well to Old Geelong President Simon Bones and Old Ivanhoe President Chris Brannigan, who were able to speak to us during the break on the halftime show. It was great to hear about the things that are coming up with those two football clubs as we are here in the Premier Bees. It has been Premier Bees Showcase round. Hope you enjoyed the day. Jared, well called, mate. I know you're Old Ivanhoe previous coach, but it was good to get your insight, even though we weren't allowed into certain huddles at certain times. But it was great to get your insight, mate.
No, Geordie, I really, really did enjoy it. Obviously been at Old Ivanhoe a long time, but also, this year had the opportunity to coach Tom Gorell and Matt Harvey, and it's the first time I've seen those two boys since we had that great day at Elswick Park, and both of them were exceptional. So, really disappointing day for Old Ivanhoe. I thought they were the better team in the first half, but Geelong certainly deserved the win. They really lifted, and be interesting to see what happens in the last 3 weeks of the season.
Absolutely right. Old Geelong still a chance of finals now. Old Ivanhoe in a fight for their lives in relegation. Thank you to My Sport Live for bringing us all the games across the Premier Bees Showcase round. My name is Jordan Mull. It's been great to give you all the action here at Como Park today. Final score, Old Geelong 14-11-95, Old Ivanhoe 9-12-66. We'll see you next time.